All right. I'm on that Pokemon Showdown replays. Part 2 of my watching epic streams. I mean, watching epic games in history, not watching epic streams of history. That would be some bot behavior. My fault, my fault. Um, I only did one of these, I think. I was supposed to do way more, but I had a very, very uncharacteristically busy July. I'm like a regular busy person, but July I was an overly busy person. But no more. I'm back to being a loser, and I'm not that busy for the next foreseeable, like probably like 2, 3 weeks. I'll have a good 2, 3 strong weeks in me of not doing shit. So it's time to stream, and I got that heat, that tournament recap. This replay's pretty funny. That's why I started with it. But I will need some real OGs in the chat to remind me if there's any game or era or tournament of a replay they want to see me witness and go over. Because I was just thinking of some other games, but nothing was really coming to mind. Like they don't have like I was looking at Smogon tournament replays because this whole thread has every Smogon tour in there, so it's all archived. Like there's like literally 1,000 plus replays in this very one thread, but they don't have that for other tournaments. Where they have like all the editions of it in one thread, so I can just go through. I have to find the individual. So some are really not coming to mind. So if any of you guys, you know, can think of any impressive games, or they could be equally unimpressive. You know, sometimes people want to see some whack shit, which I don't disagree with. Sometimes I want to see some whack shit too. And I see a lot of whack shit in my time playing. Sometimes I brought some whack shit. Look at this game. Brofist is using Steelix. You know who made this team? It was none other than that bastard CTC. So, Solon versus Brofist, Smogon Tour, top 8 semifinals. Me versus Ojama. Me versus Ojama is a true ass whooping. I'm not gonna lie. That day, I might have been the strongest player of all time. You know how you ask anybody who plays anything competitive in any facet, and they'll tell you that, oh yeah, on that one day, I was so shiced, and no matter what it is, like there's definitely a day Joey Chestnut was like, no, bro, like you don't get it. I was too shiced on this specific day. Like 150 hot dogs wouldn't have defeated me. Like I'm sure he gets like that. I'm sure Tom Brady has also had a day like that where he was like, you know what, bro? I could have thrown like 8. Oh my god. Like you know, it could always be it could always be some shit like that. But I'm telling you, that day I might have been the greatest. I think I was capable of reading minds for a short period back when I played. Speaking of whack, there was a time I won a Gen 7 RU tournament with just evolutions. Nah, cap. You were definitely playing against AI bots. Be for real. Sorry, I was hating. That was some crazy hating by me. Maybe you're legit. I don't like either of those teams because they have Tox, Clef, and Gliscor in them. Nah, shouts to you, Dino Tamer. I agree. I took one look at these teams and I was like, bro, what? Nobody's trying to see this shit. But you know what? Fuck it. All right, I just linked the Discord. Anyway, so this was the semifinals. So I'll tell you a throwback of what was going on. So this was the top 8. I was on the other side of the bracket. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm glad these two tryhards met each other. So one of them gets wiped out. So I was pretty hyped. I had played Solwind before one time and he actually beat me. But he haxed, but he beat me. And he beat me 2-0, so I can't really say shit. And I played Brofist before in a tiebreaker semifinals where I lost the first time we played, and then we played in the tiebreak, and I won the tiebreak, but I haxed him. So low key, I robbed him, and he might have 2-0'd me. But Solwind actually robbed me, but 2-0'd me. So you can take it both ways. You can think that I'm super ass and should have gone 0-4, or you can think that, okay, he might have beaten Solwind, but he definitely robbed Brofist. But I did. I can show you that replay versus Brofist too. It's a pretty good game. But I definitely hacked on an important turn. Who is top 3 most difficult players you've had to face? Um, Probably Empo is up there. He's really hard to face. A lot of people share that belief. Um, I don't know. I feel like that was the only player that had me like, damn. Playing Brofist was pretty difficult. When I played Brofist, I only played him 2 times in tournament because it only matters when you play someone in like an official format. And I had lost to Empo actually before in like a side tournament, so I already knew he was pretty good, or at least his style matches up well into me. Cause I believe in style a lot. Um, and like your style can match up well versus someone. Like there was a pro player who was like top five, and if I look up my and his name on replays, I've played him 8 times in tournament, and I have beat him all 8 times, and all 8 times I have owned him. And it's not like he's bad. He's very consistent, one of the best SM records of all time. But my style completely blows his style up. Like the way I play versus the way he plays, he never is in a situation to win. And it's not like your style is just, counter someone else's style. But if you don't adapt to another player's style when they already are able to play well into you, you'll get cooked. So you got to be able to adapt, or you got to be able to be so in tune with the style you use that you don't get intimidated by any other player's style. But it's tough though. It's tough, especially in an explosive gen like Generation 9 or Generation 7. Um, you can't always get the right turn. You know what I'm saying? Were old top players stronger than current top players? It's probably the same. The best are very good. Um, but low key that there's a lot of retired players at this point. Because the generation's been around for so long. So, but yeah, I would say it's the same. I would say players were always pretty strong. Maybe it just felt like more players played back then, which is probably true. But at the top, the skill is still concentrated correctly. All right. Anyways, watch this funny replay. So this Steelix team, I actually brought this Steelix team versus Brofist because I was testing a game with him, and I smoked his bitch ass. But it's because the Tornadus is 4 attack offensive Z move, and I hit every Hurricane. So it was like a skewed test game. Like I baited him into thinking this is like a shy Steelix team. Whole time my Tornadus T went no guard with Hurricane and Focus Blast and swept him. Um, but hey, watch this. So he leads off with Steelix and he clicks HP Fire for 35 on Stealth Rock. Then Soulwind clicks HP Fire again, like a boss Chad, as Brofist tries to make some tryhard ass predict the Gliscor read. No, bruh, you got outplayed. I remember turning this into a GIF and posting it like crazy. I was like, Brofist, you're actually terrible, bro. I was like, what kind of. I remember this series really took me out. HP Fire, Heavy Slam, and then that shit died. And the timer being, yeah, I remember this was cinema when I saw this shit live. I was like, bruh. Also, bringing Mega Steelix to the top 8? What's wrong with you? I brought some trash. Mega Steelix to the top 8? Bruh. So I'm like, I feel partly responsible for him loading up this garbage, and he lost this game. Actually, no, he won this fucking game. Wait, this game is actually so stupid. Oh my god. Also, look at these bitch ass teams. Gliscor X Clef, both teams. Okay, double the Clefable. Get up them rocks. Oh wait, Steelix had rocks. Calm Mind. Alright, this is a threat if it's got that T-Bolt. Okay. Nah, the Dark Twist of Gen 7. Ooh, Beast Gliscor Pivot on the Tox. That was amazing, Solmond. That was amazing. Okay. Facades here. Why don't you SD? Ooh. Oh my god, stays in on the spike? Solomon, you sexy beast. What the hell? What the hell? Switch out on the Z? It's Z focus though. Oh nah, but he goes for a raw. Wait, it might be Z Firenium. I'm telling you though, it's Hurricane focus, yeah. Okay, maybe it wasn't. Bro, what? Nah, but this shit's getting off the noob gut, right? If you hit all your Hurricanes, this shit's broken. That's how it always used to be. There was a time when people used to run Life Orb Tornadus T. Do you prefer games with crazy techs or games with crazy tactical play? For sure, crazy tactical play. A Shiest tech is not Shiest. Like, I'm trying to see Lord plays. Like, When you see a game where someone has to do the unthinkable to win and they do the unthinkable and win, it's like, oh my God. Someone's tech hitting. At this point, we've seen it all. Unless it's like some super egregious weirdo shit. But even then, I don't know. I like seeing Shice plays, outplays. I think Brofist wins this game, but maybe I capped. Oh yeah, Solman's a bot. Look what he does. He facades and then he facades again. But all he had to do was SD again here, and he won. But he clicked facade. And then he loses the 1v1. So Solon's garbage. That's my homie though. I know I say I sound like a douche. Nah, GG should have gone for a second SD. But Solon would go on to win this series. So my bad for being on his nuts and hating. But I remember watching this series with a lot of joy because I was like, oh yeah, one of these tryhards is getting smoked. Brofist got smoked. I think my odds versus Brofist were worse than my odds versus Solwind. So when Solwind took out this threat, I was like, oh yeah, that's shiced. And then FLCL, my homie, he took out ABR round one. And I had beaten ABR the previous Smogon Tour playoffs, so I knew I could beat ABR, but you never want to play. You never want to play a guy that's too analytical in the builder, especially when you yourself are not the strongest builder, because you will get out IQ'd. So I would say ABR, whoever was asking me top 3 hardest players to play against, I've played ABR many times in tournament, like at least 6 times. He is never an easy player to play. In fact, he is one of the few players I've built my own team and brought verse because his building game is so strong that you will most likely get outbuilt. At least back then in Generation 6 and Generation 7. You're going to lose in the builder most of the time. There's only like a couple of players that can compete with him on a building level. And then there are some Spanish players I've played that were really, really strong. Like Trosco, for example, was really strong. Really, really hard player to face. There are definitely some players that have a lot of pressure. That I've played a couple years ago that are like now really, really established. Like Santu, for example, really hard player to face. I played him in a tournament series. I lost. And he made really, really aggressive plays the entire game. Like I remember I was like, damn, this guy's not stopping. And then I played Michel Derbesti like 3 or 4 times. And I'm up on him. But he's another player that's very, very aggressive. And hard to face. There's a lot of great players. So yeah, I think every era is like pretty good. I used to always say that back in the day, players were dicks. Back when I was competing a lot, but I realized I was cap when I watched this old tournament replay. It's actually the one I'm using in the thumbnail. When I saw this old tournament replay that BKC put me onto, I saw how they were playing, and this was 2011. So this is before I even knew competitive Pokemon was a thing. 2011 is crazy, right? Like I'm 12 years old. Like I don't even know what the fuck Pokemon is, for the most part. So I used to always be like, yeah, you know, back in the day, they were trash. Like, they were plumbers. And I used to always say, like, yeah, right now is the peak of skill, and I'm the GOAT. Like, I used to always troll like that. But after I saw that replay, I was like, holy cow. Like, they were really playing. And, I mean, I started playing in, like, 2013. And, I mean, I had some great games on the ladder, and I saw some great Pokemon being played. So, the skill level of actual plays has not changed that much, I would say. It's definitely improved as a baseline. There's more game to putting people on, but all right, let me find another replay. I didn't watch as much S Tour after I won S Tour, but I still did watch some. I'm just trying to remember if anything was like an entertaining game to me. You know, where is it? What is this game? It's like Zomog versus Solwind or some shit. And Solwind had some bullshit. Or wait, no, maybe it's Sonic versus ABR. No. I stole this team, though. I stole this team, and I smoked my opponent with it. This is a good team. You can see ABR is a cancer to face, because look at the team he's using. Like, bro, nobody's trying to play this. Nobody's trying to play this shit. Like, tell me this isn't, like, toxic cancer rabies. Nobody's trying to play this. He got packed up, though, by Manaphy. I remember he got smashed. All right, I'm trying. What was the game I'm thinking of? Nah, Loki, I can't remember. I have a lot of memories in mind, but I forget most of them at this point. Because there's just too many. It's too many years. All right, I think this is where shit turns into Gen 8. Do I recognize any of these? Is anything super spicy? What do I remember? This was a crazy finals. This had the worst end game of all time. But you could see how people get in the finals. They get serious. Double Chansey? Hey, yo. Hey, yo. We not doing that. We not doing that. All right, let me find the tournament music. My bad. But yeah, you can see that there's some bitches. Like, Sowen brought that weak-ass team versus me in the finals and then never brought weak shit again. Because the team he's using here is like, bro, are you serious right now? Like, are you serious? Like, please. Sowen weak as fuck, though. He brought some shit like this versus me in Gen 6, I remember. You always got to be careful versus people who will whip out fat shit. Metastasis spotted? Literally. Yeah, you got to be careful. Anyways, this game is like way too long to show. It's like 100-something turns. And it only 239. And it only ended because Christian Dior made a diabolical throw when he had the game 100% won. So Sowen, you lucked out, little bitch. What was iconic here? What was an interesting game? Oh, I always thought this was a pretty shice game. I always thought that this was a pretty shice game. I remember. I was not playing Mons much around this time. This was like 2022. But this was, I remember watching this and I was like, okay, people are still making some god plays. Because like, turn 1, right? You see this Hippo lead into Weavile. Clicks EQ like a boss. Oh no, Toxic, even better. Knowing that nobody's going to click triple axle into a potential helmet clef, helmet pex, or helmet scarm. It's never happening. And who would ever stay in with a Hippo? So the knockoff's too free. So clicking the Toxic to put the Weavile on the timer, what a play. I love it. I love it. I remember seeing that and I was like, damn. Staying in with the Hippo there, damn. Smashed. That was a true pwn. Alright, Tapu Koko comes in here because they're all roost. And on fat shit like this, it's double roost. Like, it's definitely going to be roost. You know what I'm saying? So Koko roosts up. There's no hidden power in Gen 8. So Landers owns Tapu Koko pretty bad. I beat you once on ladders, so I should be in this convo. You probably caught me on an off day. Or you probably caught my clone, Swave. And beating Swave, that's pussy. Alright, Toxapex comes in, takes a shit ton because it's fucking Banded Buzzwole. I have a team Future Sight plus Banded Buzzwole. This team's not even Future Sight, so that's kind of diabolical and dog shit. Alright, Tapu Koko continues to try to pull up on the Feeny, but we see a good double into Landorus T there to get some initiative. U-turn out into what, Zap? Feeny. Yeah, this team has no real special attacking firepower. It's all physical spam with Weavile banded, plus Buzzwole banded, and then also a Melmetal. Alright, but with enough Nature's Madness is clicked into Koko, Ox the Fox can potentially stall out Roosts. We see a U-turn on the Clef. The Clef is Rocky Helmet, so that's some free damage. This team is a pretty strong fat. I've built this one, I mean not built this, I've played this one time. Like I used it one time and it was pretty good. It was an easy win, but I don't know. Gen 8 I like offense a little more. But Fat is obviously OP in Gen 8, so I can't blame no one for using it. Especially some cheap shit like this. I do use Hippo, Clef, Pex, Scarm a lot, now that I think about it. But I use the version with Blacephalon and Drill over Reuniclus and Reuniclus and Koko. But that team is a lot shakier, because it's a slow as fuck team. Because the Blaze is specs. So all your speeds on Hippo. I mean not Hippo, on Excadrill, which needs Hippo Sand Up. And Blacephalon low-key got patched. It's not an easy win anymore. Alright, this shit's mad boring. I thought this shit was shiest. It is shiest though. It's just that the middle game is like mad positioning. But that's kind of like the beauty of Gen 8. You gotta enjoy some positioning shit. Why does the Koko keep switching out? It's not U-turn. So what? It's Roost, Taunt, Volt Switch. Dodges Whirlpool there, which is crazy lucky, because that would have been Scarm's ass. So Whirlpool, Taunt, Nature's Madness. Super lucky. Landers keeps pulling up for that U-turn special. Alright. Ox the Fox, you're gonna need to make some pressure happen. Alright, Coco continues to come in, but that shit's using roosts low-key. It's down to 8 roosts. Alright, Hippo comes in. I would keep spamming U-turn. Oh, doubles into Feeny. Doesn't even take Skarm helmet, but Skarm didn't come in, so that Hippo trade was good. Coco comes in here on the... Alright, Mel on Dazzle. Alright, great switch. Alright, are we clicking that T-Punch player? Are we clicking that? Zap comes in on Volt Switch. Okay. Gets crit, so I guess good switch. Reuniclus comes in as Zap clicks Hurricane and misses. This Reuniclus is extremely specially defensive. Yeah, you can see as Volt Switch to 17. That shit's extremely spav. We see another Calm Mind. That's why the Weavile got toxic, so that it could not switch in freely, unpunished. Every time it comes in, it still has to deal with toxic damage. But you can see EQ doing 48 from a defensive Landorus. The Reuniclus does not have Fizz Def. That bitch is Spadef. So I think it's supposed to be like a Lele type switching. I don't know. Ownage, by the way. Complete ownage. Goes Weavile on the stored power. That was a big play. Hex takes a lot, but that toxic... That's what I'm saying. That turn 1 toxic was such a genius play. Great play. One of the... Like, this replay stuck with me because that play was too shiced. Alright, light screen. You can go into Coco now. Yup. On Nature's Roost. We got 9 Nature's Madnesses left. 6 Roosts left. Oh no, 7. Yeah, 7. You turn on Clef. This double helmet's putting in that work. Alright, Nature's Madness. Skarm comes in on Double Iron Bash. Nah, terrible Double Iron Bash. G. You and this bitch taking Mad Helmet. Okay. This is banded, so it's gonna get a kill. Because this is gonna take like half. Oh my god. You see this? Spadef Reuniclus is so weird. I get it's supposed to be like a backup switch in to Tapu Lele, which would otherwise go crazy with Psychic. So I can't knock it. But when you see this shit come in and take 58 from CC, what kind of damage is that, my brother? Alright, Coco comes in and then doubles into Hippo on either the Zap or the Landorus to get the rocks up. I love it. Slack off. Stealth Rock. Oh, tries to go for Toxic. Nah, should have Stealth Rocked. Should have Stealth Rocked for sure. Hippo comes in on U-turn, but now this Buzzwole is going to CC, and this Pex is getting 2 KO too. Nah, low-key his own sand sabotaged him, but this banded Buzzwole went crazy as fuck. Alright, Landorus comes in on Dazzle. Oh, Volt Switch instead? Lord Landorus. Alright. I would honestly click Dazzling Gleam here as Empo. You need to get back in the game, champ. Nah, shice call out. Nah, I'm too shiced. I knew he'd click Dazzle. See, me personally, I would Earthquake. Straight owned. Alright, Hippo, Hurricane. Let's see. Oh, double back into Landorus. U-turn out. Into Tapu Fini. Stealth Rocks up. Free Slack. Now this Hippo's looking damn good. Dodges, but I mean, he keeps going for Slack off anyways. Alright, Whirlpools. Why does this Hippo keep slacking off though? What's the game plan here? He wants a free switch into Coco? Alright, I mean, he's still low. So now the Zapdos can win with Hurricane. Clefable comes in on close combat, 2 KO, a helmet. So yeah, we saw Banded Buzzwole get off fucking 7 attacks, 7 close combats. Crazy shit. Melmetal lives that shit just barely, which is disgusting. Very close game, honestly. Whirlwinds out the Melmetal. In comes the Hippo. On Volt Switch. Alright, Hurricane. Does it connect? Oh, it connects. And that's going to be the game. Pretty crazy end game. Honestly, they were both playing crazy. That Hippo didn't do shit. It knocked off the Hippo and then got no kills. But you saw that double helmet on Skarm plus Clef, so he could never triple axle. So yeah, that turn 1 knockoff was amazing. That was a pretty dope game. I remember watching that and being like, damn, these guys are shiced. I remember I was like, yeah, that was a pretty shiced game. Is this the game? Yeah, this game made me laugh when I saw it live. My boy Solwin's back. Zomog. I played Zomog like one time. He always built some cheap teams, but I low-key stole some of his teams. And I used one of them in SPL. And I smoked some hater. So I remember shoutouts to him for that team. Alright, Crunch. But the fucking Mew is Cobra Berry. Alright, just watch what wins this game. It's how Lucha clicks SD, right? Watch what happens on this interaction. You could never believe it. Now I gotta show this in slow motion. This shit is so funny. Alright, watch this. You have no idea what's about to happen. This shit is so dumb. Nah, that shit is fucking Spadef Halucha with weakness policy, and he clicks Roost. Yes, I'm telling you, you would think it would be Cobra Berry, right? Cobra Berry on Burden? No, bitch. It's Spadef weakness policy. And this was in the fucking playoffs. This shit, I remember seeing this and I was like, nah, Aura, you're shiest. This is in round 1 of the playoffs. I remember I saw this, I was like, wow. Wow. Like, wow, bitch. Extra Drill comes in, get that weak shit out of here, player. I'd roost up. Oh, fucked on. Nah, this shit is crazy. Anyways, misses HJK, which is like, are you fucking serious right now? And then gets cripped by Fire Punch. Bro, what? Is that not the saddest shit you've ever seen? After dude was poised for that schmicks? Nah, that was awful, right? Like, that made all the real agents cry. Right? Yeah, that was tragic. That was tragic as fuck. I've seen some horrible, sad games in my time. I've been hacked a few times, but usually I get away with it. What is this, Scarf Drill? Mans used to love Scarf Drill. Mans used to love Scarf Drill. Me too, I used to love Scarf Drill. Shit was mad cheap into Rotom Wash pussies. Because Rotom Wash guys always think with Levitate that they beat every ground type. Yeah, until you walk into a fucking drill. Alright, honestly, Manaphy can win. But it's unlikely because you go Keldeo here. Ooh, Clefable. I hope it has T-Wave. Oh, Encore? Even better. Click Stealth Rock for no reason. That was a horrible play, Solwind. Yeah, that was actually like the worst play I ever Solwind to go for Stealth Rock. Wow. Wow, we'll study that play, Solwind. Are you serious right now? We thinking Rock Slide, fellas? I mean, bro, this guy won anyway. Earthquake would only do 50. Yeah, and then I think the Zard. Nothing, blunder, music is too distracting. I was probably talking some shit. I used to talk a lot of shit. I was probably talking some shit. My fault. I was like, why am I in the chat? Alright, the Zard reverse sweeps Virginity Slayer. And a top virgin gets defeated by Charizard Mega X. Good game. Good game. Nah, that was a hilarious game, right? Extreme plot twist every other turn. Like, holy shit, what's gonna happen next? Oh shit, some shit happened next. Rocks is the type of shit Blunder would click? Nah, fuck out of here. The type of shit I click is the saucy shit, the game-winning shit, the I'm a thug shit. Come on. You know how many iconic games I got? Too many. Because I'm too sauce. Alright. Let me go to SVOU official, see if there's anything interesting that I saw in recent time. OST. OST is whack as fuck. Let me see. Unless it's OG OST. With Z moves and shit. OST is whack. What is this? Is this World Cup? World Cup 2026. This isn't old enough. Who can tell me who can bring up a shice game? Nah, every time I got up rocks, it was to win the game. Rocks are the best fucking move in the game. Are you dumb? Alright, what could be valid here? Have I watched any of this shit? This looks mad boring. I'm not trying to watch no BK. This guy's dicks. Which one of these is tough? I remember this was a pretty big ass beating, if I recall correctly. Like, I think this was a super pwn. But this is what ORAS used to look like back in the day. I mean, it still can look similar, I think, but people have changed a lot of different teams over the years. But this is like a OG style. I don't know if folks still use Tangrowth like that. Tangrowth is trash. Watch a CTC match. Alright. I'll show you a shy CTC game. What do you want to see? I'll show you some shit. Yeah, I need you guys to tell me some actually, they have that site, that Smogon Archives. So if I look up CTC, it'll show some shit for him. Like game wise. Yeah, this site is tough. It's called Smogon-unofficial-archives.com, and you can look up any player. Me versus CBB, which one? The one where I 6-0'd his bitch ass? Or the one where I very closely defeated his bitch ass? Alright. CTC's low-key garbage, but let me see if I can find any iconic games. He loses a lot. Is there anything like Scheist? You know, this game was really well played. I think I showed it before. Yeah, this game is really amazingly played, honestly. And I don't like to glaze without reason, because CTC doesn't need any glaze. But this game is from like 2 years ago. This is like a really amazingly played game. Is there any CTC versus CBB? Nah, those guys only played for fun. I've never played CTC in an official tournament. He had to play me one time, but he subbed out, and he sent an underling with stall, and I fucked his teammate up badly. His teammate brought full stall with Mega Sableye, and I whooped their ass. And CTC is extremely pussy, because he was talking shit all week. He's like, I'm gonna cook you. And I had already been going brazy. I was like 5-1 in the tournament, so I was like, dude, you're definitely not gonna beat me. Like, but okay, sure. And he sent some goon, and I smoked him like very badly. And I remember I was like, dude, you're so pussy. I really lost some respect for CTC that day, but I forgot about it a couple days later because that's my homie. But yeah, he's pussy. Anyways, let's look at this game. This is from 2 SPLs ago. The SPL that we won. Lax D Stacks, which is Lax, versus No One More Based, which is CTC. CTC's team is absolutely garbage. I gassed him up and told him to use this team as I was the manager of our team, and CTC was our star player that I had drafted because I knew he was about to go extremely stupid in the tournament. So anyways, I gassed him up and told him bring this team because he sent me some 1700s replay games of him using this team, and I'm like, yeah, this is a shice team, bro. I like double unaware. This is your style, aka fat and cringe. You know CTC likes fat bullshit. Am I wrong? I'm right. So I was like, yeah, man, just load this up. And he ran into this team. Now, the Clodsire is not water absorb. It's unaware. So Primarina is a threat with Moonblast X Surf because it's specs. Lax got a setup spam ass team where everything can set up, which is annoying. And then Ace for hazard control, which is fine, but Lax is a big Gliscor spammer, which is why CTC wanted to bring both Skeledirge and Corv. And Corv has a phenomenal matchup into a team like this, honestly. Able to check Corv, able to check Gliscor, but it's not body press, it's U-turn Brave Bird. So while it can still damage Gliscor, the Skeledirge will have to Terra if Kingambit gets out of hand. So you got to be scary. I mean, you got to be careful because that Kingambit is super scary. There's also no sturdy dark resist here. So if it's Terra Dark Gambit, CTC is going to get cooked. Also, Bolt, potentially just Dracos and whooping on them bitches. So you got to be careful. All right. So we see a Bolt lead versus a Rillaboom lead. Good lead by CTC because he's able to banded U-turn for a strong 35% and bring in his Clodsire and get some grassy terrain recovery. We see Lax switch out immediately, but we see that the bolt is actually leftovers, which is weird. Shout out to Be Sure, donating 20 through the super chat. Nah, that's extremely goob generous. Let me see some W's in the chat. Nah, shout out to Goat Be Sure. Nah, you're the GOAT. Thank you, gang. You know I do this tournament shit for my agents. You know what I'm saying? Shouts to all y'all. We on the road back to 600 members. And like I said, tell me some tournament games you want me to go over and see. Someone said pull up a CTC game, so that's what I pulled up. Shout out Rockstar7. Shout out Rockstar7 for 2 months. If you're watching on Twitch, go use your Twitch Prime on me. You know what I'm saying? Alright, so let's take a look. We see Clodsire in here. Lax, of course, is using some cheap Raging Bolt with Calm Mind lefties, but it works out better here. Booster would have been useless. Having lefties, you can see Lax's team greatly benefits from the grassy terrain Rillaboom puts up. We see Garg double in there, which is a great play because Garg with grassy terrain up is able to easily expose Raging Bolt. Also, he knows that the shit's going to get forced out anyways by Claude. But he doesn't want to get up hazards with Claude because Cinderace gets court changed pretty unpunished. Alright, Corv beats Glizzy no matter what, so you just spam Brave Bird and shit. U-turn? Oh, Brave Bird. CTC's trash. My bad, I'm hating. Alright, Garganacl comes in here on Dragon Pulse. It takes a shit ton though. 44 is really crazy damage. Am I wrong? I'm right. So we see Garg take extreme damage. CTC doesn't even bother going into Claude. Instead, he wants to sulk here so he can start getting chip damage, which I totally understand. We see Protect here. Rillaboom comes in on the Moonblast, and that shit does 90%. Alright, it does 72, but it felt like 90 when I saw it for the first time. Does Joey play Smogon stuff? Not anymore, but Joe used to play a lot. Like, the most active SPL, the last one, SPL X, that one back then Joey played. But he didn't play in the most recent one that I was like, the one I won with CTC. He had been long retired. I think Joe last played Smogon tournaments like 2022, like end of Gen 8. Shouts to Joe. Shouts to Joe. Alright. We see King Gambit come in on Banded Woodhammer and take 51, but then heal up. That's what I mean. The Grassy Terrain's doing Lax's team a lot of favors. We see Lax click SD, which I think is a great play because you get back the most of your recovery. There's no reason to attack the Corviknight and take Helmet, but CTC makes a god play here and U-turns out. But it's because CTC doesn't have body press, and going for U-turn basically reveals that this doesn't have body press. So this King Gambit is going to go extremely stupid on this team. Unless Skeledirge Terra Waters, or Guard gets back to full, and is also Terra Water. Alright, this lives Play Rough, and then goes for Discharge, but no Para. And then Thunderclap, Ogerpon barely lives, so that could have gotten really spicy. CTC is low-key lucky to get out of that situation alive. Zuby Doobie comes in, and Clodsire pulls up on the crunch. Ironhead, I would have clicked Ironhead too, but he doesn't get a flinch. I would have Ironheaded here too, but he switches out into Gliscor. Alright, he's better than me for switching into Skeledirge. Alright, that Glizzy gets beaten 1v1, but CTC makes a god play and goes Rilla, knowing it'll cover both the Earthquake and the Primarina, because the Prim is too free. Lordly play, I must say. U-turn? Oh my god, healing the Rillaboom while also keeping the Garganacl. Oh, but the oh, bitch, what? And now Terra Water recover like a G? Or Terra Water Salt? Oh my goodness, I'm telling you. When I'm telling you CTC was locked in as a bitch, he was locked in as a bitch. What a play. Alright, so Garg is back to like 1,000,000,000% as Glizzy pulls up and tries to SD. But honestly, Garg is really hard to beat. Alright, great switch there into the Primarina as Garg gets forced out into the Corv. Nah, personally though, I would have Salt Cured again. Because even if Gliscor goes +4, you can still go Corv, because it's at 95. But whatever. We see Corviknight staying in here on Moonblast and gets crit, but amazing stay on Moonblast. Is this thing Spadef? Why did it take 38 from crit? Is this not Specs? This shit is Specs. Is it not? How can it do only 38? Or is this Spadef Corv? Surely this is not Spadef Corv though. Somebody calc Specs Moonblast from Primarina into Rillaboom. Somebody calc that for me real quick. Specs Primarina Moonblast into Rillaboom. Maybe this shit's AV and I completely read it wrong. I felt like it was Specs though, but I could be wrong. Let me pull up the calc actually. Yeah, I figured it was Specs, but maybe 72 is not Specs. Yeah, let me open up the damage calc. I'm low-key extremely curious. Alright, Rillaboom, because I know CTC is not running no fucking speed. I mean no HP on his Rillaboom. Maybe this shit wasn't Specs. Yeah, Moonblast is 63 to 75. And that's, sorry, it does 65 to 77 with modest max special attack. So I was straight up wrong. This shit is not Specs. This shit is AV. And it just got a high roll. Yeah, because I was like, how the fuck can Moonblast crit do only 38 if this was actually Specs? Okay, my bad. I'm crazy for thinking Rillaboom can live a Specs Moonblast. Yeah, so it's just modest max special attack AV. That makes sense. Lax is an AV lover. This shit turns Terra Grass here on Cudgel. CTC goes for Cudgel, expecting King Gambit to come in. I don't even know if he had a grass move. CTC loves running grassless guy. Alright, in comes this. U-turn. Oh, Glide. I mean, Glide's free, and he gets to recover some HP. We see Prim double in here on the Garg. But great Garg. Going into Corv would have been some bot activity. Garg gets to Salt Cure for free. Are we going to see a Corv here? Oh, he Salt Cures again. Okay. Oh, Stealth Rock. Okay. Stealth Rock to, I guess, force damage on the Primarina. You never know. Alright, we see Skeledirge come in here on the Facade. Lord outplays. Skeledirge should live 2 Earthquakes. And this might be Facade plus Knock. So it looks like we're just chilling. We see Garganacl come in here on a court change. And get those bitches right back up, probably. Yeah. Because now rocks are up for the entirety of the game. Alright, goes for Protect to get some lefties. I agree. Is it not knockoff then? Because it would have knocked off the Garg clearly. We see Corviknight come here on +2 Facade, but it does only 17%. So CTC, that was pretty scary. He almost didn't get the roost off, but he did. And now what do we see? Do we see a Claude Sack? We see a Claude Sack. I was going to say, Claude AI is looking like trash. Alright, we see Rillaboom pull up to the scene and U-turn out. And Garg comes back in. Honestly, Garg went extremely stupid this game. After the Raging Bolt died into the Ogre. That was a good trade for CTC. Alright, Garg is in this bitch. Protecting it up. Basically needs to keep the Rilla alive. Well, technically, Garg also wins. So, it's fine. We see this shit roost. We see a crazy play here, I think. I think he Brave Birded, predicting the fucking U-turn. Yeah. Predicting the U-turn back into Gliscor for more HP. He makes a crazy Brave Bird read. That was a crazy play, honestly. Yeah, that was a crazy play. He cooked. But this Brave Bird's doing too much to where Protect doesn't beat it. Yeah, Brave Bird's doing like 28 to 31, so 2 Protects won't beat it. But Lex needs like mad double Protects to win. Alright, in comes this. Gets U-turned out on as Garg comes right back in. But this Garg is fat as balls on the FizzDef side. So this bounces off, honestly. Look how little that did. Gets Salt Cured, and then I don't know what CTC clicks. Probably, I mean, Glide wins. I would probably just Salt again. Clicks Protect. Bro, but low-key, after another Protect, this lives close combat. Yeah, I was going to say, that did nothing. Nah, you know, you see a lot of Spadef Gargs. But FizzDef Garg, folks forget that this shit has 394 defense if you FizzDef max. Like, what the fuck is this? Taking 35 from close combat. Who the hell do you think you are? So yeah, this Garg is just trolling him. Sacks the Corv, and then Grassy Glide. Switches out to Garg in case of Sucker Punch, but it clicks SD, which is crazy. So SD, court change, double edge. Nonsense, right? But Garg, the bastard it is able to live that and then also live Katao after. Is this thing not the fucking GOAT? Bro, the shit lived +2 stab double edge into Garg, into 5 deads. Yeah, that Impish Garg is unreal. Nobody uses FizzDef Impish, so CTC cooked with this shit. Yeah, he really caught the physical spam matchup. I've never seen this shit. Terra Water FizzDef. Show a vert game? Alright, bet. What's an iconic vert game? He got some shice games, honestly. I'll show you some shice Vertex shit. He has some shice games. I don't remember particularly which one is like the most shice though. But he's had some iconic games for sure. He always be using some annoying ass offense. He always be using some strong shit. Let's see. These are all pretty old. With some recent pressure. He was using some bullshit recently. In Gen 9. I'm trying to think like what's an entertaining thing. Shout out to Morpho Knight. I don't remember what was like high key entertaining. Was this entertaining? Nah, full stall. What the fuck? Nah, L. No, we trying to watch that shit. Vert your cringe. I'm not trying to watch that shit. What? Oh, I'll show you a crazy game. Like this is the worst game ever. This game's low-key very funny. This was for official ladder tournament playoffs. This is like one of the weirdest games of all time, actually. That was the worst game ever. Alright, we see Great Tuz bulk up. So low-key, it looks like a threat. But then Mimikyu shows up, and I think it has red card. And then Heatran comes out. And I'm getting up rocks. Yup. As Trick Room goes up. And then Rillaboom comes in because there's no grass resist. As Play Rough gets clicked. A tough miss for Buddy, in my opinion. But then we see the worst play ever, which is D-Bond. I guess he thought that Woodhammer would get clicked because there's no grass resist, but... Bro, what? And then, he like removes his Trick Room. He gets completely schmixed. It's like the worst game ever. And then this was back when Terra Blast was around, so that was a pretty shice turn. But yeah, it's like the worst replay of all time. But it's pretty funny. But it's by far like the worst game ever, right? When I saw this live, I was like, what the fuck? This team is mad good though. This Rilla Serp bullshit. I used this to or I used a variant of this to get my highest peak on Gen 9 ladder. Like 2080 or whatever. I think I used a Raging Bolt over Heatran, but it's Vert's team he gave me. You have to find a TR team that doesn't get bodied by Rilla. Nah, deadass. Shout out to Enzadi. You show the Vert Pink across Beefy. That show's funny as fuck. I think that vid is taken off YouTube. I'm pretty sure shit's flagged and taken off. The Helion vs. Vert game 3 was shiced. That game was shiced. That game was shiced. Those guys were slugging it out and playing some boss-ass mons. Now those guys are shiced. Was it this game? Yeah. Yeah, this is where Vert brought the same team 3 times in a row. This was like both before the dual screens outbreak, but dual screens is so pussy. But Blymax's team is also pussy, so I can't really blame either player. Alright, so it's gonna get up rocks. Oh, it's not even rocks. So low-key that Sandtomb put in work. Because that Dio got stalled out of a lot of turns. Alright, Iron Val comes in to click what? Calm Mind. And Corviknight. Oh, it's Taunt knockoff. Brave Bird. Alright. It's not Spadef Corv, it's FizzDef Corv. I would say this is not a bad trade for Helion 2. You know, this is such a classic team, man. Shouts to Blymax one time. We see the U-turn out here. I would bring in Slowking G. You could also go Tinglu, honestly, though, and just EQ. Oh, misses Meteor Beam. That's actually pretty unlucky. Because Earth Power does a lot. Yeah, so Meteor Beam would have put this into a KO range. But really it doesn't matter much, because the Ting Lu would have came in anyways if Meteor Beam did connect, instead of getting that damage. So it's really the same shit. That didn't matter. Ting Lu. This Sand Tomb shit is kind of garbage. I like Blim's Rest Talk. This Sand Tomb Ruination taunt is not it. Shit doesn't even have a real ground move. We see Corv come in here on EQ and then get roosted on like a boss. Alright, Glim goes for raw Meteor Beam. And then Ting Lu pivots in and gets crit, which is tough. See Heavy Slam come out. Earthquake. Clicks Heavy Slam again, but the D-Knight lives just barely. Dragonite pulls up for free U-turns. Nobody defogs. That was a good defog. Alright, goes Kyurem there, which I agree with for sure. Dragonite comes in on Ice Beam. Okay, so it's probably Specs if he's still Ice Beaming and not Freeze Dry Earth Power. A lot of people make this sub Earth Power Ice Beam, which I don't mind. I think that's a great set. Alright, Kingambit Terra fights on Wisp and dodges that shit. It's Lumberry anyways, though. Alright, Corviknight comes in here. And do we see a low kick? Oh, it actually switches into Great Tusk. Okay, I guess Corv lives the low kick. Meanwhile, Great Tusk is able to go for Taunt. Oh, it's not Taunt. It's only Bulk Up. Okay, do we see a defog? It's getting shiced. It's getting shiced. Okay, so that shit's not Taunt or what? Wait, it was Taunt? Alright, nah, extremely whack plays here then. Taunt here is definitely the play on turn 27. What? Alright. Whatever, the Tusk, I mean the Dozo split F, so you're chilling. Oh, it's Head Smash. Nah, but still should have taunted. That was crazy, honestly. Okay, we see Kingambit pull up on that SD. Brave Bird does 67%. Some next level chip. Iron Head. Alright, now we see a crazy outplay. We see a low kick here, or what? We see Iron Head? Okay. I would have terrored immediately, though, like a thug. Oh! Now that was crazy. And then Don Dozo cannot kill back because it's Waterfall and not Wave Crash. Yeah, that was crazy. Am I right? The Terra Reeds are too shiced. Nah, that game I had where I focus blasted the normal D-Knight, the turn it Terra, that was using a Vertex team. Vertex be making these teams where you gotta predict their Terra and you automatically sweep. So just predict that shit. Vert versus TDNT Game 3 OLT quarterfinals is a shice game. Yeah, I think I know which one you're talking about. It's like the Hurricane game, right? No, this game is super brazy. Now you can see Vert is always bringing some annoying ass HO. HO is hard to fight though, you know, I can't really blame him. TDNT's got a pretty non-standard team. But Weavile has always done me good when I used it in Gen 9. Same with Cha. Garg is hit or miss though. Alright, we see Dio get up all the screens and hazards. And then Blaziken pulls up. The Earth Power does nothing. Alright, Skarm comes in where it will be traded. It's Life Orb Blaziken, which is nuts. Shit's doing too much damage. I should kill 2 Mons. Both Fizz guys. Alright, Moltres nasty plots, and then the Garg Salt Cures. And then we see Hurricane here, because dude is trying to catch the Weavile. But I like Reflect. I mean, I like Recover Spam. I would have Salt Cured this turn here. On turn 12, personally. Because you don't need Garg to win the game. But maybe he thought without Garg he would automatically lose to Kyurem. Alright, we see a switch out there. He didn't want to lose it because he wanted to keep it for what? Cha? Are we going to see a crunch? Oh, a body press. As Heatran comes in on another body press, right? Nah, this is actually a crazy ownage. Like, that double press was more insane than spamming Hurricane. Hurricane's like weighted odds. That shit was crazy. God damn, that shit's mad strong. Now, he could have low-key just terrored and Dark Pulse then, instead of Hurricaning on the switch. He pwned him, though. That was a super ownage. Fucking Moltres is such a bitch ass mon. Fuck Moltres. If you use Moltres, you're pussy. Shouts to my guy Vert though. I ain't never used no Moltres. Actually, I have a Gen 8 team of Moltres, and it has won me the game before. But every time Moltres G has been Brawl versus me, I smoked them. Are you crazy? That's some weak ass shit. Anyways, this was a CTC versus Lax game. I don't know what else. He has some funny games. But he has some garbage games too. I don't know what other games are iconic games of history. Replay crawler. What does this mean? Anything shiest? Rarest Pokemon in high stake matches? Okay. Oh, Megan bringing Grafaiai, which didn't come out. Umbreon. Alright, it's pretty shiest. I won't cap. But I already brought out Umbreon in Gen 8, so no, bruh. Sandslash Alola. What? Oh, I saw this game. I live recorded this series. The Sandslash did nothing, but he's Chad for bringing that. I remember this. Necrozma versus Stall, and Necrozma went crazy. This is pretty cool. This is a pretty cool game. Because this team is insane. This WinCon spam shit. Curse Dozo plus Calm Mind Cha with Calm Mind Necrozma. Like, this is very clearly like a gimmick team, but it's pretty cool. And the opposing team is dog shit. Like this, what even is this? I go Ogre and I Terra Water, I 6-0 this trash. This is a really like shameless team. Like a do nothing ass garbage team. There's like no win con on this. The win con is I hope I kill everything with Weavile. We see a Alomomola pivot here as Cinderace pivots in on a potential Ice Spinner. We see flip turn into Corviknight, which then takes the Pyro Ball and gets crit burned. This is the worst play of all time to click Defog when you can just go back into Alomomola. I mean, getting crit burn is obviously crazy as fuck, but that was like the worst play of all time. That was like, I actually don't want to watch this game anymore after watching that play. This is no epic game of history. That was the worst play of history, in fact. But I think that Necrozma did something. Actually, I think the Dondozo just swept. I don't think Necrozma did much. Yeah, Necrozma got walled by Blissey. But it kind of PP stalled back, so it wasn't totally useless. Yeah, I think this Italian as fuck Dondozo just swept. This shit turned grass, but it was too late. Yeah, it was too late. This guy was too shiced. And then 6-0'd with shice Dondozo. Never sleep on Dondozo. When you least expect it, that guy's gonna sweep. I love Dondozo. I love Dondozo. How many times have I brought Dondozo to tournament? I think only one time. That shit didn't sweep, but it would have swept if I wanted to. Like, if I really wanted to win with Dondozo, I could have, but I chose not to. But you know what a bad feeling is? When you have a Dondozo and they have a Garg, and you're like, fuck. My stupid Chud Dondozo is completely outplayed by this. You feel like a dumbass. Anyways, that was a pretty enjoyable game to watch. That was a cool Necrozma. We give him +5 aura points. What did like the OG meta of Gen 9 look like? It was low-key garbage. Early Gen 9, even though I was the best. Gen 9 is so bad though, right now. We need to do something about it. Shout out to Metlayer. Italian Dozo straight from Naples. Shout out to Italy. I went to Italy in April and it was amazing. Italy is a shice country. You know, from my experiences online playing on Smogon, a lot of my impressions of different countries are from playing their player bases. And you know what? I don't discriminate. I actually hate every single region equally, including the region I'm from, the US. Every single region, all your players are not shice compared to me. And the US isn't shiced either as a region. But basically, I got beef with every region, so I don't discriminate. But when I went to Italy, I was like, you know what? Italians are pretty shiced. So they moved up in my my tournament rankings. Nah, Italy's mad strong though. They're mad strong as a region. They be winning World Cup a lot. All right, do I recognize any of these? Any of these interesting? Is anything cool here? Everything's kind of fucking lame. What do I remember here? What do I remember that's like a good played game? Oh, look here, everything's cringe. I don't even remember this last SPL. I've been pretty checked out. We need to get rid of Gen 9. Like, Gen 9's the worst gen ever. Because it's been so long. Oh, I'll show you my worst played game ever, low-key. Nah, I was hot off a flight from Germany. So I was jet lagged. That's my excuse. But this might low-key be my worst tournament play, my game tournament ever. I go for rocks like a bot against taunt. And then I earth power for a 2-hit KO, but... like, it doesn't matter because I get bonded, so no hazards. This team is so cheap, but my team is also cringe and takes no skill. I then go to Iron Moth like AI as Dragonite comes in and DDs. I go to Ursaluna hoping to get put in Custap range, which would have been extremely shiced, but instead of doing 75, he does 74.7. But if I got put in Custap, I would have killed him with Blood Moon. I probably would have won. I thought I made like the best play ever, but I didn't. And then I almost lost. Oh yeah, then I do lose. Yeah, he encores me and I straight up lose. Yeah, it's like the worst played game ever. In my defense, I was off a flight. I was jet lagged. That was probably my worst played game ever. Nah, Blood Moon was in tournament. I lost to that shit. That was a tough one, honestly. Cox. That was a tough one. Nah, peep this though. This is mad funny. This is one of my luckiest games of all time. Although, even though I hacked, it's a pretty hilarious game. So I go for Magma because it's not going to be CC. In comes Yankee as I go into AV Rilla. I go for Glide, but he doesn't have Ice Beam on his Manaphy. Look at this weak ass shit as I'm AV. Shout out to Zav GB, who I stole this team from. That guy's a legend. My Dragapult, I stole this team wrong from him, so the EVs are fucked up, so I don't actually get back to full HP from 2 rounds of lefties. I mean, from 2 rounds of Grassy. Otherwise, this was a genius play to U-turn into this, to a heal sash, but I just didn't, because I fucked up the EVs. Anyways, you know I keep it on me, so I Thunder Wave there, and I get a full para like a complete boss. Fuck you, John Cena. Alright, Roaring Moon comes in here as he goes for agility, but I'm John Cena. I click acrobatics and I Oko Bunny, which is a gorilla, so I don't know why it's named Bunny. In comes Bebe and goes for Terra Ghost SD, but I go for acrobatics and I crit that ass. I won anyways though, shit was over. Like he already lost. My moon is fucking bulky, so I would have just Terra Flying and lived and killed him back. Or like whatever. I could have Terra Grass and killed with Glide. I also had Terra Ghost and shit. Or Terra Poison Great Tusk, rather. And then I knock off. But I crit again, so I hex like a bitch. Watch this. Then I Terra Flying and I Acro here. And then I crit one last time to cement the 6-0. I remember playing this game and I was laughing. I think I played this garbage on my phone. I just haxed every turn. This is what happens when Moltres G gets brought against me. Extremely packed. Nah, but I for sure haxed. Half my moves were crits and full paras. Shots is my guy Zav GB for building this team. Zav Great Britain, because that's where he's from. This guy built a phenomenal team. Whatever, I won anyways. This shit, I'm heat, and this team is amazing. Let's go back to seeing rare Pokemon in replays, because that Necrozma game brought back some good memories. But this is an amazing tool. You can see any replay, any tournament player's history is pretty dope. That you can just see it on a whim. Ditto. Oh, Ditto's cringe. I should definitely lost. Deoxys D. Bro, what? Arboliva. You guys think this shit won? Wow, I have never seen this. the fuck is this bullshit? Exotic 64's team is extremely cheap. Alright, clicking T-Wave on an Arboliva? Yeah, you're a pussy. Sorry to say. Alright, eject button? No. Okay. Alright, he goes into this coked out Raging Bolt, but there's no electric immunity here. See Dragon Pulse, gets red carded out. Alright. Oh, it lived? Nah, it's the worst Ninetales ever. I would have Aurora Veiled. Alright, he keeps trying to T-Wave, bro. Stop shitting bricks versus Arboliva. It's mad embarrassing. Encore, oh my god, get fucked. What? Nah, Papa Francesco just owned his life. Did you see that? Nah, none of you expected that. Be honest. That was pretty shiced. Dude goes back into that fucking gold, always trying to T-Wave. Mr. Sauce pulls up on T-Bolt. But this is gonna live easily. Yeah. Owned. Maverick Shitters comes in. What? Alright, click Thunderclap. Oh, dude, come on. Oh, I guess he was afraid of Rust. Glim, Terra Fairy, Dazzle. Ooh, crazy turn, honestly. Okay, is this not Make It Rain? Okay, it is. Papa Francesco takes a lot and then gets ejected out. What? Papa Francesco gets up the Grassy to give the next man an easier setup. What a genius build. Alright. You know I'm clicking Flare Blitz here because I'm scared as shit of this. Oh, sub on your T-Waving bitch ass. Oh my god, you're fucked. You're fucked. Now, this is the best game ever. What the hell? Oh, it turned Fairy? Okay, hold up. Oh, smoked. Acro. What? Nah, what? He got the Halucha from Sheen. Alright, but now he realizes the gold extremely walls. That did a lot. Oh, what? It didn't wall? No, that was a crazy T-Wave on the sub. Are you insane? Why did you click that? Wait, this game was absolutely diabolical. Dude, how did he win this? Wow, I'm so happy I watched. That's what I'm telling you. This is the best tool ever. I swear I have some wins with Shice Moss, but they're from old games. Like old generations, like generations 8 and 7. I don't have nothing Shiced in Gen 9, but I haven't played a lot of Gen 9 tournament. Like, these are low tier games, it's not real. But that was an amazing game, well worth the watch. That was phenomenal. I'm pleased we watched that shit. Vileplume Stall, that's pretty clutch. Wow, I can't believe we saw that. That was just... Wow. Halucha Ken? Wow. It was cold, bro. It was super cold. Okay. Alright, this is all early Gen 9, where shit's extremely garbage. Let's see some shice shit. Alright. Oh, it's because it's in tier... Let me see SSOU. Let me see who was bringing some weird shit back then. You know what I'm saying? No, these are all low tier garbage ass low tiers. No interest in that shit. Poliwrath. He's low key crazy. You think this won? Poliwrath looks pretty whatever. Because there's a Pex. But maybe it can win with Belly Drum. I doubt it though. This team on the contrary is extremely tryhard. I've used a team pretty similar to this. Dark Pulse Flinch turn 1 is a tough look Pelipper, because he would have been able to U-turn. Shout out to my guy Rocket. What website is this? It's called... Hold on. Smogon-unofficial-archives.com. If you Google Smogon Unofficial Archives, it'll pull up. You can look up any player in tournament and all that shit. Shout out to Sailor for 20 months. Who watched the Scarf Ice Beam Light Doppelsoldner Ultimate Mario replay? That one is fire. That's an iconic game. I should pull that up. Alright, Pex is gonna live this, I think. Yeah, it lived really easily too. Ooh, unfortunately, Poliwrath, you've been exposed, bitch. That's sad. Damn, and that shit already belly drummed? That's horrible. Alright, let's see what happens next. That Hurricane did a lot though. It could be Specs versus AV. Maybe not, I don't know. My fault, I'm back. My dog was scratching my door about some shit. Alright, this bullshit replay still going. It's interesting. I see Poliwrath is dead and no Mons are removed from Sky Penguin's team. So, looks like that shit was garbage as hell. It's actually mad depressing. But I knew Poliwrath was a fraud. That shit cannot be good. But low-key, the defensive typing is not bad. Firefight is pretty good. Anti-dark and shit. Like anti-Weavile. But who can tell me Poliwrath's attack? Is it 90? 95? I bet you that shit's not triple digit. I bet you it's 85 or something really bad. It just gives me the vibes of a mon that's super bad. $90, 95, it's 100. Alright, I see 3 different answers. I guess we'll never know. That shit's cocks though. Alright. This looks like Slowking G gets a slow ownage on this trash team. Nice own going into Landorus on that Earth Power. Oh, and it wakes up and clicks Earthquake. Alright, Pex. Coco on Thunder, Roost, Press. Yeah, we just U-turn out. Okay. Press. Alright, valiantly fought, but get the fuck out of here. Alright, that was the worst shit ever. SSOU is pretty... It's pretty whatever. I don't see a lot of cool shit. Fuck this. Alright, what else do they have in this replay crawler tool? What is this? The most watched replays of all time? How do I see that? How do they even know that? Okay, like how do they know that this shit has 2,100 views and 1,700 views? How do they have that tool to know who was watching what game? Okay, tier all whatever. I want to see if I can sort by most popular. Okay, cool. Yeah, let me see. I want to see what are the most popular replays of all time. Alright, there's no way this is the most popular game. I've never heard of this game, and it's from 2024. Yeah, random Smogon Premier League week game with 17. So these are definitely like wrong. Because it can't be replays from like very recently. It would be replays from like 10 years ago. Especially because these are like the most random of games. Like no stakes games. Like random SPL week. Like I believe that this has 16,000 views. This fucking Gara. Damn, I didn't forgot it was one Gara that did it. Wow, this was tragic as fuck. I had you. I fucking had you. Yeah, McMegan is such a cheese lord. Nice hacks, pussy. That shit is so funny. They flinch again. Nah. Oh, he had fucking Lom. Dude, whatever. Lavos is not even that crazy. Like, shouts to my boy Lavos. He was whooping ass, but look up Blunder, Lavos on replays. I think I had a 90% win rate versus him. In like 20 games. Played between 2013 to 2019. So, I don't know, bro. Shout out Lavos, but some of us had his ass figured out. And then he got flinched again here. What the fuck? Dude, McMegan is so fucking lucky. McMegan robs every tour, but that's my boy. Nah, I'd be low-key extremely tilted. Dude, especially in the playoffs, though. But dude, come on. I got hacked in the playoffs in the semifinals, and I won the next edition because I'm a boss. Like, dude, come on. Stop being pussy. I literally got robbed in the semifinals of Smogon Tour the season before I won. He crashed out way too hard, seeing as he was already mad lucky. Also, to win a tournament, you have to be mad lucky, and he won 2 or 3 tournaments at this point. So it's like, dude, stop being pussy, you know? Like, you can't cry and explode and quit off one game. Like, what? Everybody knows that to win a tournament, you have to get lucky by not getting unlucky. So basically what I'm saying is, you need to have my mentality, and this is about me. Yes, this is about me. And you need to be more like me. Alright? Anyways, he's pussy. Like, come on, bro. Come on. come on. We all lose. Boss up. Anyways, this was a tragic game, though. McMegan, you're mad lucky. That shit would not have worked on a G like me. The Pikachu game, that was an infamous one. But it's low-key pretty boring. It's more of a Celesteela Toxapex win. What's going on here? Oh, Mono Water. I showed this before. This was a own. Oh, this was filth. This is the finals tiebreaker trophy deciding game. And this guy Brofist brought fucking dual bird stall. Low-key, Zalmok's team was not even bad. But he just couldn't break. And this was a huge play. Going hard into Sableye on Stealth Rock. This was a really big play. Because if he Stone Edged on the switch, it could have been a situation where rocks did go up at a later time. But those plays were just too annoying. And then this reveals to be max speed sub. So once the Tyranitar got toxic, it was over because it's sub defog. And then I think the Zapdos is also defog, but with Protect. So double pressure defog. It was, I remember watching this live and I was like, damn. I was like, damn, this is horrible. I've lost like $500 from hacks and money tours. I wanted to crash out so bad both times. Nah, low-key, I've also lost similarly high amounts. I've gotten second place in $1,000 money tours twice, where first place gets 700 and second gets 300. The first tour finals where I got lucked out in that, it was beyond hacks. I got hacks in all 3 games and lost the series 1-2. Like, it was super egregious. I was really enraged. And then the second BO3 I lost, I hacked one of the wins and the other guy hacked me one. So I didn't feel a type of way because I hacked one of the wins, honestly. So I couldn't be mad that he hacked me back and won the BO3. So I was like, whatever. I should have won because I hacked the game. And then the game I got hacked in, even that one I could have won if I was like a little more precise. So you can't be mad. Especially if you already hacked the game, you get hacks back, it's like, okay. But there are like NPCs that will get mad. Oh, this the most seen CBB versus Blunder, 9,917 views. Yeah, I went stupid on CBB this game. Most viewed game of all time. Yeah, 5,000 live viewers. I went brazy on him. Oh, and then the next one is also me. Me versus Solwind finals. I went brazy on Solwind too. These are some classic looking teams. Empo versus Ima. Oh, this is the Ice Beam Freeze game. Blunder versus Empo. This is a classic. Where my fucking Swampert got switched into Will-O-Wisp because I got possessed. Charm Flash versus ABR. I remember this Nidoking team was pretty shiced. Me versus Lax. Classic game. Classic game. Me versus Mounts. This is a tough game as well. This is probably the most I've ever been hacked in a game. But yeah, this is a pretty amazing game, honestly. This is one of the craziest games I ever watched. This is a pretty shice game. Low-key, I didn't know how many replays I had in the most watched replays. But then again, I'm an iconic player. So it makes sense. Damn, look how many people watched CTC versus Finch. Nah, but this game is a insane ownage from CTC, so I believe it that this has been seen that many times. I played like everybody here in some modicum. Let's see. These are some crazy teams. Oh, this is where I got washed by Solwind in the finals in game 1. Pretty cheap team though. Oh, this is a really insane game. I remember watching this. I can show this. Okay. Let me actually show some games. But yeah, this game was really amazing at the time. Low-key, I'm going to this website and stealing every team. Bro, honestly, some of this old shit's pretty bad. Because I hopped on the Gen 7 ladder the other day. And I was using some of my old shit. And bro, that shit's patched. Like, this shit is trash. Everybody uses HO now. So you get owned using some old shit. You get super owned. You gotta be careful. You gotta be really careful. But Gen 7 has still been mad easy to play. Because I've been playing it and it's still free. Alright. So this game, pretty strong. Pretty strong matchup. These are probably the two best builders in Gen 7. Back when it was like the current gen. Like, Gen 7 in its peak is like probably the strongest the game ever was. It had the highest active playing top player base and a lot of innovation. Gen 7 was still a controversial gen though. People didn't like a lot of the mechanics. There was a lot of annoying shit. Like, people thought PEX was broken for the entirety of the gen. People thought you know, Duck Trio was busted, which it was. Took a while to get banned. Zygarde was running around even at this point in the metagame. That's just super crazy. But yeah, metagame was still slightly different around this time. But yeah, Gen 7. But these are probably the two premier builders. It's not even really a question. I had a lot of success in Gen 7 history, like tournament-wise, and I used to use these two teams a lot. Like, ABR built like two of my teams in Smogon Tour playoffs, and TDK built the other one, and then I built one of my own, and I had to play all 4 rounds. I had to play SM, and so I used to always rely on these two to build some shice teams. They were really strong. So the matchup was kind of similar. We see the Fastmon being Coco versus ABR having Weavile and Tornadus T as Fastmons. Pursuit is around in Gen 7, so you know, it can trap fucking Lotties and shit like that. Although TDK's team isn't really pursuit bait. Nothing is really easily pursuited. We see double Gastro, which is whack as fuck. I've brought Gastro one time in Gen 7 and it got hacked. I never brought it again. That shit got Dark Pulse flinched, and my opponent was like, damn, I was so nervous going into this game, bro, but I'm so happy I beat you. And I'm like, first off, you hacked me, and you're lame as fuck for admitting that. I remember I raged. I used to be a big rager. I don't even know why I shared that. That just makes me sound like a dick. But you know what? Fuck you. You did hacks me. You know what? I don't give a fuck. If you hacks me, you're a pussy. End of discussion. End of fucking discussion. I don't care. You know what? I'm done with all this fucking PC shit. If you hacks me, you're a pussy. And if you, yeah, you know what? No, full stop. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Because I'm not going to sit here and pretend like when I played tournaments, I wasn't mad shit talking all the time. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, like, there were times where I would, you know, I was respectful and shit. But yeah, no. If you hacks me, you're pussy. And I'm letting you know that too. I had many a crash out. Let me not even cap. I used to crash out really often. I don't give a fuck. I was shit talking like crazy. Alright, Diancie into Tapu Koko. Free Protect for Diancie. You know, ABR always be running Protect. Actually, ABR, whenever we used to test out teams, because me and him used to test a lot, he would always have pretty good success versus me if he brought a team with like triple Protect. Because I'm always trying to make doubles and I'm always using choiced mons. So he would, like, his best odds versus me whenever we would play is if he brought a lot of Protect stuff, I would usually lose. So I remember I didn't like playing him when he brought fat shit, because I would low-key get farmed. Gen 7 RU. I was really whooping ass in RU. If I look up me in RU, dude, it's just a straight green, straight W's. Alright, anyways. We see ABR get Toxic and have Stealth Rock go up against him. Should have brought in that Heatran, bro. Soft boiled here. Alright, we see Torn come in to catch the Stila or the Gastro. Great play. Why does it say Gastro's typing is question mark, question mark, question mark? We see Diancie come in here on Scald. Yeah, I don't know why ABR did that shit. That made no sense. Let's try and break that turn down. Oh, he predicted Toxic and wanted to bounce it back. Nah, that's extremely ambitious. Nah, ABR, you think you're a rock star, bro. Alright, Toxic here. Ooh, but I guess Scald's still free. Alright, we see Earthquake there. He trying to catch the Gastro. I get it for sure. We see Clefable come in. A little Giga Drain action. It's just not doing shit though, because Clefables used to run mixed defense a lot of the time. Me personally, I've always been a Fizz Def truther. Tornadus pivots in here trying to catch whatever status move so that it can get another regen turn. Coco pivots in here on the Heatran. We see a switch out into Gastrodon East as ABR takes that opportunity to put up rocks. Tangrowth double into Clefable type shit. Let's get those rocks up. I'm clicking rocks here. Oh, goes Diancie. What a Chad play. Nah, shice Diancie call out. Into the Torn on Moonblast and dies. ABR, you suck. You just saw it do 39. No way. ABR, that was a whack play, my brother. But you know what? It is what it is. Magma Storm here. Okay, taunt. Alright, Earthquake in this bitch. Okay. Clefable comes in on Giga Drain. Diancie pivots in again on rocks. Doug life. Nah, that was amazing play, bro. Into Heatran on the Moonblast, but the Gastrodon. Okay. But that Medicham is lurking, and I see no fight resist, so get ready for that action. Also, that was a crazy play. Oh, dude, are you fucking joking? Did I not? I did not just click start over. I'm ChatGPT. Okay, we see Gastrodon and then Tangrowth come in, but we see Coco come in predicting the switch out to either Gastro. No, he literally was predicting Gastro. And he gets the defog. ABR doesn't want to risk staying in because he's Fizdef Tangrowth. We see Medicham pull up on the Stealth Rock. Tangrowth pivots in here on HJK, but that shit misses, bro. Wow. That is so obnoxious because now Tangrowth can stay in and Giga Drain freely, killing that son of a bitch, Medicham. But that Toxic is going to help because damage is damage. Coco goes down here to Suicide Defog, but doesn't matter when Heatran can get up rocks easily on 2 of the 5 Pokemon. Heatran comes in here as Landorus doubles in. Great play. Earthquake or U-turn. Clicks SD instead. Wow. I thought it was Scarf. Because there's no Scarf on this team. Unless Coco was Scarf? Wait, maybe Coco was Scarf and that's why it's defogged without Roost. Because I was kind of shocked that it defogged and just died. I think the Coco was Scarf, ladies and gentlemen. Because you couldn't play Gen 7 without a Scarf back then. So I think it was actually Scarf Coco. Which to bring in an important finals game like this is honestly crazy. I would never be using no bullshit like Scarf Coco. Yeah, Coco had to be Scarf. That's the only explanation for such a play. Honestly, a crazy call. I've brought some weird Cocos in the past, but never did I bring some bullshit like... Okay, sub SD. ABR goes Diancie there to bait out the Z. Earthquake here, knock that shit out. Alright, we got to see a Pursuit here. Like a boss. What an amazing Pursuit. Holy smokes. Celesteela comes in. But ABR predicts the double again, and knowing the Leech Seed into Heatran is too free. And that TDK does not want rocks going up if Heatran comes in. So ABR double pursuits. What a play. What a play. As Medicham comes in. Well, Tangrowth is going to get sacked here to double HJK. So it was unfortunate that he missed the first one. But yeah, that double pursuit was amazing. Gastrodon comes in here. So that was a smart play to bring in Tangrowth to get the initial helmet. Because now Weavile can kill this with Pursuit. Because it needs that helmet chip. So that thing is in range no matter what. We see Heatran come in here as Landorus doubles in. An amazing play. Weavile comes in here on the Earthquake and lives with just 5%, allowing it to Pursuit Trap. Holy cow. But Clefable is going to get up rocks here, which does mean the Weavile is dead the next time it tries to come in. Anyways, Gastro, Tangrowth, double trouble. Heatran doubles in here on the Clefable so that it can get up rocks. Well, Celesteela comes out though. Rocks up. Tangrowth comes in. Earthquake here on the switch. ABR is going to have to double back into his Heatran to have any chance. As he does. But the Heatran does have Magma Storm. And it does have Taunt. So there is a reality where this thing can be PP stalled out of its moves. We see Taunt there. Great play to click Taunt and not waste a Magma Storm against the Protect. Like a complete AI bot. That would be a terrible play. We see Gastrodon come in here. Tangrowth makes a great double though to get all the HP back. We see back to Heatran. Okay, so not really getting any damage on the opposing team, but getting the Tangrowth back to full. We see an Earth Power here. Nice Earth Power just to get a little bit of damage. Scout out the situation a bit. Alright. Giga Drain here is free. Heatran can come in on Soft Boiled. We see Gastrodon East come back in on a little Earth Power action. Tangrowth comes in again. Does Gastro recover? Gastro does recover, which is a good play. Heatran double. You can never keep your Gastrodon in on Tangrowth. You'd lose. Earth Power again for 15. Not really doing any damage, but never give up, as I always tell you guys. Tangrowth pivots back in on Gastro. Giga again. Goes for Stun Spore, which is crazy. Trying to catch Celesteela, I guess. Or maybe didn't want to be PP stalled of Giga Drains, which is fair. I remember this game has a pretty shiced ending, even though it looks boring at the moment. Alright, Heatran comes in and clicks what? Magma. Earth Power again. I think he's trying to force ABR to not, TDK to not click recover. And I think this was the opening he got, where the Gastro came in, took the Earth Power here, and then did not recover this next turn. Yeah, because he Earthquakes. Now he stays at 73 on the Gastrodon as the Clefable comes in here. And now, after all that conditioning, the Heatran has to make some giga aggressive plays to win. So we see the Magma Storm, right? It dies to Earthquake, but ABR makes a Lord play and clicks the taunt, outplaying that shit. I know, sometimes you need that level of conditioning for that shit to work out. Scald here, but now that the Gastrodon's at 50, ABR basically has to double every single time to win this game. There's no choice. There's no choice. It goes for Magma Storm here as the Celesteela goes for a Leech Seed and dies and doesn't even click Protect. I understand not clicking Protect because you're afraid of the Heatran getting back leftovers. When I look back at this game, I feel like I would have also clicked Leech Seed and not clicked Protect. I don't know. I don't know what I would have done. Maybe Protect is the right play. Maybe Protect is always the right play. Gastrodon comes in here, gets taunted again. ABR with the call out, knowing the Gastrodon is too shook. Tangrowth comes in here. Gastrodon can low-key stay in though, because it just needs to recover lefties to negate the Rocks chip. Alright, we see double Giga, which is free for ABR. As TDK goes for a Moonblast, which is nice damage, because now the now the Heatran is super free. I would have gone Gastro there, like a thug. Okay, actually that would have been a losing play. I'm a bot. Alright, Gastro comes in here again on Magma Storm. Is the Heatran going to go for the third taunt outplay? Oh my god, does it work? Holy cow, and it works a third time. Wow. Wow. Gastro can't double out, as we know. Goes for Scald to get the marginal extra damage. You know what I'm saying? We see Heatran double back out on the Clefable. Holy fuck. ABR, you legend. We see Gastrodon come in again on the Magma, but it misses! And then clicks Taunt. But this time, oh, he actually did recover again? Oh my god, ABR, you went so fucking high octane on his bitch ass. Doubles into Clefable there. That was low-key free. Goes Heatran. Shut out my guy, Bilal. Need the Agency Beanie for the next drop? Nah, Winter drop? It could be seen. I'll show you guys it. Oh, hold on. Does he do it here? Does he finally Earthquake? Finally the Earthquake, and that's going to be the end. Because Clef's going to beat Tangrowth 1v1. Crazy game, honestly. Watching this live was an incredible game. But yeah, merch, I'll show you guys a sneak peek when we hit 600 members. It's fire. Yeah, anyways, this was a pretty shice game. Both ways. I mean, the Medicham got hacked with that HJK miss. So obviously ABR played the end game crazy, but he got hacked. Shout out to ABR though, he's had some shice end games. Too bad I always cook him though, because I'm the GOAT. Alright. Let's see what else is interesting here. BKC versus Soulwind. This is that don't pretend game that I talked about in the BKC video. Very comical game. Smogon, Solon versus Blunder. What is some entertaining ass shit that I remember? The most fun game that we saw was still that Arboliva with the Hawlucha Blaziken. Like, what the fuck are we even talking about? That was comical shit. Oh, this is a pretty horrible game. This is like an iconic game for a bad reason. X-Ray versus Badoosh. I already showed that shit not too long ago. This is a great game. ABR versus McMegan. Alright, now we're in like really random territory. Like, I don't even recognize these games. Oh, this was crazy. This fucking regen spam. This was low-key a crazy team to bring in a tournament. This 6 regen. I think I showed this garbage before. This is really egregious. Bringing this to some rage bait. I'd be mad as fuck having to play this shit. I definitely had to play some lame ass stalls though in the past. I also stalled a lot myself though. I definitely stalled a lot myself. Like, I can show you. I used to stall like a bastard. But like, it would be like irrelevant shit. It would be like half and half. I would never bring it to no playoffs. So this is my shit. How do I see my replays? Yeah, lifetime rank 37, which sounds about right. It's just pretty valid though. They give you all the stats of your shit. But you can see, I told you guys, Empo's hard to play. He'd be whooping my ass. 1-6. That's pretty crazy, right? I don't think any player even has better on me than a 2-0. But 1-6 is super crazy, right? Yeah. He low-key be frying my bitch ass. Alright, let me find that stall game. Because I definitely bring stall. I definitely like using stall. Like, that's not even a question. What is this, win rate? I definitely like stall though. Where is that shit? I fuck with stall. Where's my stall? Where's my stall? You can see I sometimes had some nasty loss streaks. We're all human. Alright, where's my shice stall though? Although you can't really see this. Let me zoom out a bit. Alright, that doesn't really help. Alright, how do I see some iconic stalls I brought? Damn, they don't even have replays actually for most of these. Huh. Yo, my bad. I thought I had some shice stall to show, but I don't really. Oh no, there's a see all button. Oh my god. Dude, this website's actually low-key crazy. Like, these are games I didn't even know I ever played. Like, what? DPP OU 2012? Like, bro, this is, I'm in like 7th grade. So like, how can I even like know that this is a thing? What? No, there's no way. What? Wow. I did find out what Smogon was though when I was in middle school. I remember. I found it on the computer. Nah, this is like some Palantir shit. I don't know how they found this shit. Like, what the fuck? This shit knows everything about me. Oh, this was like one of the first tournaments I did good in. RU Open. When I was like 14. And I got to the semifinals where I lost to Blue, who probably cheated and had my team. But I remember, yeah, I was running it down. See? I lost in the semifinals of that tour. But low tiers are easy. Like, come on now. And then some Smogon clap. I didn't even know GSC Cup was a thing. Wait, no, it says NU Open. So what's GSC? Wait, what is this for? Like, I don't even know what this trash is. Alright, then I won these two and then lost to this guy. Like, there's no replays, though. Okay, sorry. I'm, like, looking at garbage. I'm trying to find a shice stall game to show you. Because I be stalling in this bitch. I'll be stalling for real. But there's no replays of me bringing stall. Where is my stall? You know what, guys? Maybe I capped. Because there's like no replays on here. So maybe I don't have it. I stalled X-ray here and I lost, but that's not the stall I'm looking for. Yeah, I stalled X-ray, but I lost that. I got packed. Yeah, there's like no replays of anything. All right, maybe I'm a fraud, and like this shit is only documented by score. I think I have to get to Gen 7 to see my stall. Oh, I stalled here. Yes. 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 Nah, I'm a piece of shit, honestly. Yeah, I'm actually whack as fuck for bringing this. What's even crazier is that I had lost the week before. So you gotta really be pussy to lose the week before and then be like, fuck it, I'm gonna load up that big stall. This shit was super lame. I'm extremely pussy for running this. I can't even lie to you. Like, I'm whack for bringing that. I'm shocked that replays are so not, like, there, though. But I guess a lot of them are, like, not posted anywhere. So that can always be... that can always be part of it. But still, though... I guess I used to private a lot of my replays. I would have to... because I didn't want people knowing my teams. I used to reuse my teams a lot. So I used to hide my teams if I could. I'll show you a game where I hacked a guy. And he got tight. And I'm like... shit did not matter, bruh. But it did. Damn. Yeah, there's a lot of players I cooked. Like, you can see Mazar right here. That guy would cheat a lot, but he couldn't beat me. Here's him again. He couldn't beat me. I hacked this game and I told the guy it didn't matter, but you guys decide. You guys decide if I hacked him. I hacked him though. Even though I capped and said it didn't matter. I get up Stealth Rock, and then I get up Spikes, and then I sack my Pharaoh. And then Mew comes in on EQ. I'll go Greninja on Fog. Oh, he knocks off. Definitely a bad play. I go into... he goes into Zygarde on Hydro. I kill it. Scarf Greninja kills me. I go into Swampert where I have manual Rain Dance. JD Dance, bitch. Dance, dance, dance. Pinsir comes in. You know I'm killing that shit with Waterfall. As he gets quick attack damage. And then he's fucking Scarf Greninja, but he misses Hydro Pump. So I definitely hacked. I don't know. Maybe I lost. But maybe I still won. I don't know, because I have a Lottie. So I go to Lottie after and I click Thunder. And I'm Z Electrium, so I 2-hit KO Mag with Thunder plus Z Electric. I feel like I win, but I could lose. I could lose this. I think I won though. Because I also have a max HP Pelipper. So there's like nothing he can lock in with Gren to win. And he was at 50 too, so it's like he only gets 2 more switch-ins. Nah, low-key, I think I won anyways. But I remember at the time, he was tight. And I was like, nah, you didn't win. But I might have robbed. Am I honorable for saying I might have robbed, but deflecting? And basically saying I'm better? Nah, I hacked though. My bad, bro. I hacked you. I hacked you for real. I'm pussy. I'm pussy. My bad, bro. Do I have any Shice games? Oh, this is one of my most absurd ass beatings of all time. This is one of my real most destroyed games. Like, I actually owned this guy so bad. And I remember going into this game, this guy kept on making excuses to not battle me in the week. And I had the flu. So I was like, bro, let's just play. I got the flu. Like, come on. And he was like, yeah. And he was trying to cheat. I remember he was trying to cheat. He was trying to do some activity nonsense. It might not have been his fault, though. He might have been being forced by his team. People have always played dirty, especially when you got to play a threat. Like, people have always played dirty, especially in team tours where they know that their player is playing someone that they're matched up against, like, poorly. Like, if you're playing the opposing team's best player and you know your guy's fodder, then you'll see some teams pull some really dirty tricks trying to, like, be like, oh, you know, your guy didn't show up to battle our guy, so we need a sub. It doesn't happen that much, but it happens. People be moving pretty nasty. Me, personally, I've never ran from anybody. Well, I have lost to activity many times because I got busy. But I'll never dodge somebody on purpose. Like, that's extremely whack. But there's a lot of folks like that. Anyway, I remember this battle clearly because either this guy or his team, they were moving extremely whack. They kept saying like, "Oh, bruh, I gotta go do some shit. I'll come back in an hour." And I'm like, "Let's go." Anyways, I'm using CBB's team, and they're using a Medicham, pretty classic team. Anyways, I went extremely dumb on his ass. Pause. All right, watch. I lead off with Balenciaga Landorus, and I U-turn, and I take helmet, and then I download that it's helmet, and I never make that U-turn play again. I go into Hydreigon. I double into Metagross, expecting Azu or Heatran, as he goes into Everyday Struggle. Everyday Struggle like Williams. Alright, I go for Focus Blast on the Latios, because it's a catch-all, right? It's my strongest move. It'll hit Azu and Tangrowth harder than Secret Sword. I go into my Metagross, and I Pursuit that shit. In comes this, as I go Hydreigon as Sleep Fodder. I figure Hydreigon's useless when it's slower than Medicham, Weavile, and Latios. And then Azumarill walls, so I figure shit's garbage. I go into my guy here, expecting Heatran to come in, but he goes into Medicham. Here I make a boss play and I pursued his ass, expecting him to switch, because I know he's soft. Shout out my guy Jake Z for 45 months. Go almost 4 years with the agency. Nah, you're a legend, bro. Tourney replays on lunch, go hard. Shouts to you, gangster. Yeah, I get up rocks here as he knocks off my Heatran, but I don't need my Heatran that much. He goes for Recover there as I go Metagross and I Pursue, so he hasn't done any damage to my team so far. Like, my Heatran's been knocked off for 18, my Landorus took Helmet, and my Metagross took a Fake Out. So in 14 turns, he hasn't done any damage. I go into Heatran here as this bot goes for HP Fire, smashed. I double into Keldeo here, knowing that he's going to bring in Heatran. I was really whooping that ass. Do I go for Focus? Yeah, I go for Focus. Probably unnecessary. I could have gone for Scald, but I miss. I go Landorus there because I don't want Keldeo to take Fake Out damage at all, because I need it to deal with Weavile later. I double back into Keldeo. I told you, we never click in U-turn on that Helmet Tangrowth. So yeah, basically, God plays. We not taking that extra Helmet chip, bruh. I Focus Blast, I smoke the Medicham. I was clicking Focus Blast a lot. In comes Juicy as I go hard Metagross as he belly drums. I live Aqua Jet and I OHKO this with Thunder Punch, so I'm not even tripping. But he crits me. It's like, bro, are you serious? And so then folks were like, oh my god, did we just lose? But I got HP Grass just in case they hacks me. What an amazing turn of events, right? I know that shit could have been so disgusting. What year is this from? This is old as fuck. This is 2018. Alright, Big Baller comes in. I always had the most random nicknames. Like, what is this? Paddock Water by Future and Young Thug. RIP to some greats. They're putting out some dog shit now. But rap music as a whole is pretty much cooked now. There's some real garbage out there. Alright. Oh my god, I double one last time. Not even U-turning because I still don't want to take Helmet. Even though it makes no difference taking Helmet at that point. Still hitting the double just to let him know. Hitting a Focus Blast again. In comes my Heatran, which clicks Taunt, and then I sweep with EQ. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I really did him dirty. Like, that was... I'm the best. That's just something I observed. Alright, what else? Anyway, this is where I stalled. This is not an interesting game. I literally got up max hazards, and then he had some fucking bullshit like Dragalge on his team, so he couldn't even do shit. This is a regen spam game. This game's actually pretty funny. Super slimy ass nickname. This 2018. I used to always have some crazy Future Young Thug nicknames. I remember my first tournament game back after like 6 months. I sent out Toxapex name Activist. Like, who did I think I was, bro? I really thought that I was wearing full Chrome Hearts and I scammed. Yeah, I don't know. I thought I was Babytron or some shit. I literally remember I sent out Activist to Toxapex. I was like, alright, man, I'm AI. Alright, this is a boring game. It's like funny though, because it's like AV spam, but come on, what the fuck? 42% from +2. Like, get the fuck out of here. And then full para into 2-hit KO is so dirty, right? Shout out Spectier. You got a pretty gorgeous team aesthetically versus Brofist's ugly as fucking balls team. Damn, he gets crit again, but it's not enough. Why is Sludge doing 61? Dude, Tangro's such a bitch. Get this team out of here. That shit's mad cheap. I mean, AV spam. You a bitch, bro. My bad, I'm hating. Alright, this is shit versus Ojama. I already showed that before, though. I low-key owned him. Are these interesting? Not really. Damn, they don't even have random shit like this. Like where I won like mad games in a row. But then there's no replays to show. Do I have anything interesting? Oh, I stalled again here. Yeah, this is my first game back in 6 months. You know I had to stall. You know I had to stall. Bro, who doesn't stall, though, at least once or twice to keep them on their toes? You know what I mean? You gotta keep them on their toes. Also, I have the greatest play of all time this game, which a lot of you would have died trying to make turn 1. A lot of you would have been like, oh my god, this free-ass knockoff. But I went Magnezone turn 1 on Ferrothorn and then instantly won the game. A lot of you can't teach that sauce. But shoutouts to a lot of you out there trying to emulate. But you just can't teach it. You just can't teach it, bro. Alright, let's see. Low-key losing some games. Anything interesting here? Some games where I built my own teams, but those are pretty uninteresting. Like, this is where I fucking unveiled the Umbreon, but this shit is so bad. Umbreon did nothing. It's literally such a bad mon. You Magnezone's strongest soldier? Yeah, Magnezone's cheap as fuck. Like, Mag is really an unfair Pokemon. So, I feel like it should be brought more. Alright, Loki, my replays from this, there's nothing that's like, oh my god, like this is the craziest game ever. Oh, it has my OST saved. Who did I play here? Oh, I remember this series versus Savoras. I hacked him. I hacked him pretty bad, actually. Poor guy. Yeah, I robbed his ass. Alright, more AI. Alright, this is boring. Shout out to his website, though, for giving you data on every single player ever. Shit's pretty dope. Shit is pretty dope. The fact that something like a tool like that even exists, you know? People be doing that shit for the love of the game. It's fun though. Alright, let's see. When's the ER stream? Should I play soon? I don't know what limitation to put. I hadn't done this in a while. This tournament game shit, that's how I was gonna do it. But maybe I should stream more at night. I know more folks are available at night. But at night I'd be doing shit. So I don't really tap in. There's a Sun and Moon archive as well, which is pretty cool, if I recall correctly. I can show you some old shit like that. Yeah, people have made some amazing tools. Sun and Moon archive. Look this shit up. Pokemon SM tournament replays. Yeah, because I saw this just the other day and I was like, holy shit. Like, people make some really cool stuff. Like, yeah, take a look at this, for example. Yeah, so, like, you can see, like, the most recent... I think this is only for Sun and Moon. But you can, like, search by player and, like, see mad old shit. This is an insane replay that my boy showed me recently. This is, like, the craziest replay of all time. When you see this garbage, you're about to be like, what the fuck? Yeah, you gotta see this. This is the funniest game I've seen ever. This team's low-key shice, though. I'm gonna steal this team. This Medicham shit, I'm gonna for sure steal it. I have a similar one, but it's got an Alakazam over Medicham, and then a Heatran over Drill. And then bro forfeits. That's the funniest game I ever saw in my life. I was like, alright. Dope game, bro. That was awesome, my brother. That was awesome, my brother. Yeah, that was like the worst game I've ever seen. Did I search by player either? Yeah, you can see mad different players. They have like every player that's ever played a game here. If I type in myself, I gotta go pre-2022 though. But you can see that shit has everything. Wow. Yeah, you get like some of the tools that people have made are crazy. Oh, I didn't realize it's cut off. My fault. Switch to usage stats. Wow. Is this not insane? That people are able to make data like this? Win rate of the search. So it tells me that out of my 27 tournament games from this, I have 19 wins. And then it tells me exactly which Mon I win with the most and lose with the most, as well as what teams I reuse. This is so interesting. What if I did like a 3 Mon usage core? Wow. And then it would give me the information that I spam rain, which is true. I do spam rain. Or I did. And then this Lando Cart Mag, everybody knows this, takes no skill. Similarly, Lando Grenlele, Lando anything. Yeah, I use Lando like a motherfucker, but how could you not? I didn't expect Ferrothorn to have such a high usage too. This is so amazing. Shouts to the person who made this. This is amazing. Alright, which of these are funny? Is anything funny? I have these I have the Glalie and the Shark replay, but the Shark didn't even come out. But this is my fastest tournament game of all time. This is legitimately a 2-minute tournament game. Which I know is insane to think. But yeah, this is actually a 2-minute game. I still remember this game. This shit was at 9:04 a.m. and it ended at 9:06 a.m. And I remember because I like was on Discord. I was telling my team like, "Yo, I'm gonna play early. Like I just woke up. I'm gonna just play." And then the game was done. I posted this shit at 9:04 a.m. The game replay. Or the game link. And then at 9:06, I was like, "Yo, I won. This shit's over." I remember. Crazy. But I used to always want to play the second I woke up in the morning. Now it doesn't really make much of a difference for me. But the earlier I played in the day, the more of my full mental power I would have. Plus at night, you're trying to do shit. You're trying to go out, you know? You're trying to talk to some biddies. You're trying to get crunk, etc. Am I wrong? Nobody's trying to pull up for a battle at 10 p.m. Also, let's assume that you have no motion, no hose, no drank, no nothing. Okay, let's just assume you have none of that going on. Even then, you don't want to use your brain at 10 p.m. You probably want to just, do something else, like watch some TV or whatever, Playing at night is extremely crazy. Because I remember playing one time at 1 a.m. semifinals versus TDK. And I came off the flight from Cancun and I was feeling like the man or some shit. And I was like, dude, it ain't nothing to me. Actually, no. I was on the flight to Cancun and I was like, it ain't nothing to me, bro. Let's play. I got to the I got to the hotel in fucking Cancun at 1 a.m. and I played him and I lost. It wasn't nothing like egregious, but I just lost. And I remember thinking, why the fuck did I play at 1 a.m.? Should have played at 9 a.m. when I'm at my highest power level. I would have worked him. But no, I played at 1 a.m. and I got walked. Nah, he hacks me though. I'm not gonna lie, he hacks me. But whatever, bro. That's life. That's life. Battling in the morning, dude. When I played Soulwind, I played him at 8 a.m., which was like the best blessing ever. Because Europeans are really psychopaths on Smogon. Europeans all play at midnight their time. Or even later. Which is so crazy. I could never play a game I cared about that late at night. Any game I actually care about, I'll try to play in the morning. Tournaments like Smogon Premier League, which is BO1, I don't care what time I play, but I always would try to get the game in before 3 or 4 p.m. After 3, 4 p.m., there's no way I want to think about Mons because I want to start my day. Low key, even when I would go on crazy win streaks, I would still get some type of tournament anxiety before the game. Like every time I'd have a tournament battle, it would be pre-game and post-game. And I wouldn't want to do anything until the game's done. No matter what. Like I was winning every game at one point and it didn't make a difference. Like I would still want the game to be done before I did anything else in the day. So I would, does that mean you always record lives in the morning? Yeah, usually I record lives in the morning, but even then lives, I don't really care because there's no stakes, right? Like losing, obviously I'll get pissed off losing, but losing on the ladder and a showdown live, there's zero stakes. I don't lose anything. Losing in tournament, it'll have me like, dude, are you fucking serious? And waiting till night to play to then lose is like, all right, my entire day's ruined. So I like playing in the morning. Like this guy did me a solid. We played at 9 a.m. So shouts to him. There were definitely some games I had to play at night, but for the most part, I would always be able to play my game sometime in the morning. It's harder now though. Now a lot of players will ask you like, yo, can we play at 10 p.m. my time? Can we play at, 11 p.m. my time? And you just kind of have to accommodate because people have work. Back in the day, I was like a kid, right? So there was no like busyness. All right. So I brought up Sharpedo here because I'm fucking shiced. Sharpedo Loki has a good matchup into him because he has no switch into Crunch except for Tyranitar. My Tyranitar, his Tyranitar actually walls my Sharpedo. My Sharpedo is Crunch, Ice Fang, Psychic Fang, Protect. Strongjaw boosts all 3 of those moves. Strongjaw is 1.5x, which is a big ass boost for those of you who don't know. It's not 1.3, it's 1.5. You don't need Water Stab because Crunch is going to do the job for you. Psychic Fangs with Lele support is to 1-hit KO Toxapex. It's pretty genius because Terrain is a 1.5x boost. The Greninja also has extra sensory so that this team is very Toxapex proof. Fuck Toxapex, it shit's OP, so I wanted to have a number of Mons that could pressure it. And this team pressures Toxapex pretty well. This guy has an Amoonguss, so there's still a target for the psychic moves. I got a Scarf Landers T because you guys saw the stats. My Landers T usage is like 70%. Landers T is the best Mon in Gen 7 history, so there's no reason not to use it. It's OP. I'm still spamming that bitch every game. My Greninja is Z-move, 4 attack, Protean, HP Fire. HP Fire is just to be anti-hazard, get rid of Ferrothorn. It's nice to get rid of Ferrothorn for Sharpedo. And then Z-move, extra sensory, Psychium. So, actually no, this is Waterium Z, but it has extra sensory with Terrain. Anything to limit Pex. But no, this is actually Waterium Z I capped. It's not Psychium Z. And then Tangrowth is AV. I used to spam Tangrowth a lot. Tangrowth fell off in Gen 7. It's not really good anymore. But back in the day, this guy was fucking amazing. I used to spam this bitch like crazy. Alright, I lead off with Tapu Lele and Landorus. I know he's going to either be Scarf U-turn or he's going to hard switch out into Heatran or Scizor. So I go for the Focus Blast as he reveals to be Scarf U-turn, which is fine. He goes into his Tapu Lele, which is an amazing play predicting my Focus Blast. Honestly, I was impressed by that play. A lesser man would have gone into Heatran or Scizor, and I tried to catch that immediately, knowing he would switch out. But going into the Lele was crazy. So him doing that immediately made me think he might be AV, because no way he would make that play if he wasn't AV. He doesn't have the balls to make that play versus me, was basically my rationale. He goes into Landers T as I bring in my Heatran. Now on turn 3, I go for Stealth Rock, expecting him to U-turn. He could have Earthquaked here, but I know he didn't have the balls to go for Earthquake there. I remember BKC watching this turn and getting mad. He was like, no way you'd stayed in on potential Earthquake. And I'm like, there was no potential Earthquake. I knew his ass was not clicking Earthquake, but it was definitely a greedy play. But anyways, the reason I made that play is because I felt like I low-key had the data from the initial 2 turns. 1, did not respect Scarf whatsoever. 2, expected me to make the try-hard Focus Blast and went into Lele. So I can see that this guy is making egregiously aggressive plays off the rip, which make me think he's not going to click Earthquake here. That would be stupid. Then I get a free U-turn myself by going into my own Landorus on his. Anyways, I get a Brox, super free. Landorus T comes in as Tyranitar attempts to go for Earthquake, hopefully trying to catch a Toxic or whatnot. I don't know, but my V-Lone Thug VTV is free. Him clicking Earthquake made me think he's either Banded or Assault Vest, because how else can you fit Earthquake? You can't fit no Stealth Rock plus Earthquake. That's not happening. So I was pretty sure he was either AV or Banded. I thought I was just going to take a Banded Stone Edge with my Landorus T when I pivoted it in. I didn't expect that bullshit he went for. Earthquake. That was a trash play by him. Why would I stay in? Alright, I go into my Greninja here. Off the U-turn on his own Landorus. Him going to his own Landorus and me not taking Helmet, as well as doing 9%, made me realize that that is indeed Scarf. I go into my Greninja here just to bait him into clicking U-turn as I go back into my own Landorus. And I know that he's going to be defog Landorus T of his own. So with Rocks up, he has to get that Landorus T in and defog. Otherwise, I can Earthquake and do a lot of damage to his team. No one else on his team wants to take an Earthquake. Even if Amoonguss is Fizdef and Scizor's Fizdef, they're going to be forced to have to recover some way. So I'm free to just do this Landorus pivot shit. I'm going to U-turn out. I'm going to bring in my Heatran because I got to scout out what this is. He goes for knockoff though, and that's important information because a Scizor running knockoff is running Swords Dance, knockoff, Bullet Punch, Roost. Knockoff, Bullet Punch, which means Greninja and Sharpedo can actually switch into this thing's coverage. It doesn't have a bug move. And those mons are obviously not bulky by any means, but they have enough bulk to live a +2 Bullet Punch. Both of them can live a +2 Bullet Punch. So I know in a panic situation, I can go into them shits. And Sharpedo actually gets a decent defense boost. Alright, Amoonguss pulls up here as I go for Earth Power. So he's low-key outplaying me crazy, going Amoonguss on Earth Power, knowing I won't Magma. And now I go for Magma, so he went crazy, honestly. No, I go for Taunt. Even worse. So he outplayed crazy. Then he Pursuits on my switch. So that was pretty tragic. I got cooked like 4 turns in a row, which is pretty rare. That's when I was like, whoa, this guy means business. But he told me he really wanted to beat me. Because he was 4-0 at this point in the tour, and I was like 3-1. And we were supposed to play a year or two ago in a tour. But he dropped out of the tour. Probably didn't want to fuck with my aura. I don't know. Alright. Amoonguss comes in here on the Earth Power. Tyranitar pulls up. Yeah, he outplays me pretty badly there. I brought some dishonor to my family with those weak-ass plays I was going for. I was really doing some bullshit. That was embarrassing. I should have been better. I bring in this shit and I click U-turn. What do I do? I go Lele? No, I go back into Heatran. You can see I don't even want to go Lele because it's hard to know what button to click. But if turn 1 he didn't U-turn and get the Focus Blast prediction correct, I probably would have had more confidence in going to Lele and getting a play right. But I was kind of scared, honestly. Alright, he's going to go back into... He goes Lele. Is that Earth Power again? Nah, honestly, I got outplayed to shit. And now I think he Moonblasts here. Yes, bro, he went crazy on me in the mid-game. Yes, I was actually shocked at how many turns were going his way. He goes into Amoonguss here. Wow, now he actually went extremely stupid on me. I go for Hydro Vortex there because I'm backed up into a corner. I'm getting outplayed to shit. But thankfully, the Psychic Terrain means Extra Sensory is going to kill. Ice Beam probably wouldn't have killed. So, shoutouts to CTC having this E-Sense tech. In comes Landorus T. I still have Rocks up, though. Getting those Rocks up on turn 2 basically kept me in this game like anything. And him being pressured in and never getting up Rocks was a big deal. That's why I never brought in Tangrowth. I never wanted any Mon that could give him Stealth Rock, which is only possible with Heatran. I U-turn out of here, and I bring in my own Heatran as he goes for a Roost. We all know he's going for Roost, so that's free. Tyranitar comes in on Magma. It's AV. It reveals AV here because it takes fucking 7. I go for Earth Power here, knowing he's going to pursue and try to trap me. He goes for Pursuit this 15, so it's not a 2-hit KO, so I can actually end up 1v1ing this Tyranitar if he does elect to go for Pursuit, which he does. But he actually ends up critting me, so I lose my Heatran, which is only annoying because it's a sack fodder that I would have rather kept, but it is what it is. But now he's low-key lucky. Bastard. In comes my Sick Man Sama, again, to force the Landorus T into coming in and not getting up Defog. Because he's soft. He doesn't want to Defog. He's afraid of my Greninja. Also, my Gren is crazy into his team with Hydro Pump HP Fire. I U-turn out here. I keep getting damage. I'm telling you, Rocks really kept me alive. I go into Sick Man Sama, but because I am Z-move and I told you he's knockoff BP, he has no move that can actually do real damage. If he clicked SD there, I would have knocked that shit out with HP Fire. Now here, I know he's going to switch out. He can't risk the HP Fire. He can't even risk his Scizor taking a Hydro Pump. Because if it takes a Hydro Pump, he could be in range of Earthquake or Crunch later on. I'm not going to click HP Fire. It's too motherfucking obvious. So I go for Hydro instead. Trying to kind of bluff him into not thinking I have it. And plus, I know he's smarter than that to know that my Gren would probably be HP Fire. Landorus T comes in. I think I continue to go back into Landorus T. Like I said, Tangrowth coming in is whack. Tangrowth can give him Rocks or give his Scizor some initiative. Alright, but these rocks are putting in the work, bro. Shout out to Stealth Rock, one of the best shits of all time. I love you, Stealth Rock, you fucking legend. Alright, Heatran comes in. It's like Hydro again, like a complete G. Wow. These are real hoops. I can't cap. This was real hoops. Hydroing again. Wow. Now I go into my thing. He finally finds the balls to click defog, but it's way too late for that shit. Because I U-turn out. And thanks to all the rocks chip that I did, HP Fire is going to be in range. So yeah, Greninja is the fucking GOAT. Greninja is literally the best Pokemon of all time. That shit killed every single mon. Like, what? This is the best mon ever, right? Like, people don't know. Like, there's some strong shit now in Gen 9 with Power Creep, like fucking Roaring Moon and D-Knight and all that. But Prime Gren? Nah, bro. Nah, bro. What? I have actually a crazy game showing Prime Protean Gren. I smoked ABR for some tour we had to fight in. Oh my god. It was a crazy Gren. Let me find this shit. Yeah, watch this. This Gren, dude, Protean Gren was some shit where you really couldn't, like, you didn't even know what was gonna happen. And it could run a Z move, and they would run Z move low kick sometimes to bait Chansey and shit. Super whack. Alright, watch what my Greninja does this game. Now watch this. Hold up. He misses Mash turn 1, which is pretty unlucky though. I led pretty badly. I was trying to catch Clef lead, so Mash turn 1 miss is pretty unfortunate. Then I click Spike on T-Punch, right? Then I HP Fire here, expecting him to go for Mash. So that works out. And then I click Extra Sensory, expecting the Keldeo to pivot and have Scarf. So I get the noob gut off. But that's what I mean. Greninja is low-key overpowered as fuck no matter what. Like, what is this? Spikes, HP Fire, and Extra Sensory? Like, that'll really rage bait somebody. That'll really, like, make somebody mad. If some shit like that happens. Because the coverage is too undeniable. But Gren never was, like, broken enough to be banned. This Clef T-Waves me. And then gets mad full pairs. Yeah, he got 3 full pairs in a row. 4 full pairs in a row. 5. Yeah, he actually got so lucky. But I won this game, like, barely. I had a muck. Yeah, this Clef almost did it. With paras. But then my Azumarill fucking held on for life and played it. What a crazy game. Now, T-Wave is so cheap. When you ban T-Wave. Alright, let's see if I have any final shice games. A lot of bullshit. Now, T-Wave is really cheap, though. Fuck T-Wave. Alright, that's all I got. I'm gonna post a funny video later. So tap in for that. I'll probably post it very soon. Who has some good title ideas for me? I did a video with 3D and Joe. Also, shout out to Rockstar7 for subbing on Twitch. If you're watching on Twitch with Twitch Prime, go ahead and member up or sub with Twitch Prime. How long was Pheromosa illegal for in Gen 7? Dude, probably like 4 months. 3 months. I used it one game and it went crazy. I used Bandit, I used Scarf, I used Z. Z was pretty broken. No, not this game. Not this game. This game. Yeah, Z was pretty OP. I won't even lie to you. Look at my team. Like, that shit's actually crazy. But this is like the first, like, this is February 2017. So this is 3 months of metagame advancement. Like, early Gen 7 was really quite a headache, if I recall correctly. Show us that thumbnail and we'll think of a title. Okay, bet. Now, this thumbnail is actually amazing. Give me a second. Fuck, I gotta make lunch. I want to make lunch. Whatever. No, this thumbnail's shiced. Keep this thumbnail, bro. That's pretty shiced, right? I added some random shit, but obviously Robalo made this amazing thumbnail. We played Bring 12, Pick 6. Loser dies. Regular stipulations. You know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, pause your screen on that. And really think about what we can make. You know, that would be interesting. Alright, take a look, bro. So I lead off with Almighty Sosa. You could... All my nicknames are always some weirdo shit. Like, why would I name this Almighty Sosa? But at least I'm ahead of the trend. I see a lot of Chief Keef dick riders on social media. Probably the most dick road artist that people don't actually listen to. But I guess I was listening to him. Because I don't know why I named this Almighty Sosa. Maybe because Pheromosa and Chief Keef have a really similar build. You know what I mean? Yeah, it might be that. It might be that. Okay. I go into this, and this shit does nothing. I think this Landers does nothing in this game. Like, I think I get a lot of turns very wrong. I switch out against a fucking Tarak. I don't know why. I don't know why I was so scared. Then I switch back, assuming it's Sash and not wanting to take damage. This is some nonsensical shit. CC, and then it takes more chip, and then it U-turn. I mean, at least I got rocks up. And then I go to Almighty So, and I kill him with Ice Beam. In comes this shit with a crazy name. Zathura. I live with 1 HP, because I have some HP invest. And then I go for Z Focus Blast, which one hit KOs. That crit didn't matter, I'm fucking Focus Blast. I'm shiced. It goes for Gunk Shot, Water Shuriken. Low-key, that was a bad play by me to sack this. I needed this. I go into Garchomp. And I Dragon Claw and I kill this. Goes into Johnny Dapp. Okay, as I go for Claw, expecting a Rock Polish. Now I know Swords Dance is coming, so I get another Dragon Claw off. Yeah, I needed a position like this so that I could kill this with BP. Otherwise, I would have lost. Alright, this kills with BP. Very offensive meta, this one. And he Scarf Brave Bird. Yeah, this is the worst game ever, actually. My fault for even showing this. What a game. What a terrible game. Shout out to me, though. I'll be trying my best. Pheromosa being legal at all is hilarious. That shit's basically Deoxys Jr. That shit was Deoxys Sr. That shit was extremely elite and broken. I cannot believe that shit was played. Playing Pokemon Showdown with our lives on the line. You know, that's not a bad title, bro. That's not a bad title. We could probably do better, but I actually like your title. So, I respect you. Showdown with our lives on the line. Alright, that could be interesting. Why does it get Ice Beam? Dude, Pheromosa gets mad moves that are overpowered. Am I wrong? It gets a lot of cheap moves in my recollection of things. Yo, what about that Hawlucha weakness policy though? That was crazy, right? Very funny. Very funny shit. Oh, you know what? This is a pretty amazing game. This game stuck with me a lot when I saw it live. So this is Smogon Tour semifinals. So really high stakes. Game 3. I believe they were 1-1. No, this was game 2. Wait, no, this was game 3. Wait, then who won Oras? Pasha lost his shit. He got hexed. Oh, he choked on balls, I think. Yeah, he choked on balls going for play rough. He won if he switched into Thund. Not crazy choke. Yeah, crazy choke, honestly. I was gonna say, he definitely had that shit. This is my team, by the way. I know you wouldn't believe it, but this is literally my team. Because Gen 6 used to be pretty easy to build offense in. This is a crazy team, no fairy resist. Oh, Pasha was pretty crazy, though. Strong-ass battler. Alright. Let me show you a cool battle. Not this bullshit. This is a pretty amazing battle. It stuck with me. Alright, so we see... First off, Dugtrio lead is really egregious. I have no idea why he led Dugtrio. Was he trying to catch Tyranitar lead? I guess Tyranitar does match up well versus Zapdos, but that's about it. And you don't risk Tyranitar when it's that important. Dugtrio lead's pretty weird. I assumed this was Z or Sash Dug. Or not Sash Dug, Scarf Dug. Because this team gets 6-0'd by Tapu Koko. Tapu Koko kills everything with T-Bolt and U-Turn. Since Dugtrio is 2-hit KO'd by U-Turn. The rest of them get cleaned up by T-Bolt. So I was pretty certain at preview that this was a Scarf Dugtrio. Which makes leading with it all the more confusing. Leading with it made no sense. Maybe he really wanted to catch the Tyranitar immediately and get a Toxic or something. But I remember seeing an Empoleon and a Kyurem Black at this point in the semifinals was pretty impressive. Because Kyurem Black is not some bullshit that I like to bring to an important game. I bring it to some tournament games, but back then it wasn't the menace it is known as today. And Empoleon was never good in Gen 7. I have a few teams with it, but it's like a fake, like Fairy Resist. But hey, it did its job here. Able to Scald Burn the Zap. Pex comes in as Kyurem Black, doubles in, nice play. We see Fusion Bolt come in as Pex goes for Toxic, classic. Goes for Z-Move here. Z-Move is a fine play because if they try to swap into Dugtrio, you get to smoke that. But now that Z is gone, Kickaster knows that he can wall this shit with his Mew for the remainder of the game. Goes for Wisp. Just to start punishing shit. And Mew is a big threat to this team. This shit goes for Toxic. Also, Empoleon cannot roost at this time. So that guy's just, you know, raw trying to be a, you know, Spadef wall. But we see AV Tangrowth come in, and AV Tangrowth's low-key annoying because the Zapdos got burned. It gets free knockoffs. So really this Empoleon and this Tangrowth, they're kind of hard to do damage to. And like that Scald's doing chip. Even with pressure, it's still doing chip. Alright, we see Tangrowth on Roost. I wonder if I would have gone Tyranitar, but I mean, it's honestly risk-free to go Tangrowth. As we see Giga Drain there on Volk, into double Giga Drain. Yeah, seeing this live was outrageous. Bro put his nuts on the table and hit the double Giga. And this is crazy, because if this is Quiver Dance, if this Quiver Dance is here, and it's Z-Move Bug, like, bro will lose, because the Tyranitar will die to +2. So I remember seeing this Giga Drain live, and I'm like, no fucking way he did that shit. That was so nuts. How did he make that play? I mean, he read his life that it's not Bug Buzz. But even then, like, how did he make that play? Wow, that was amazing. He predicts the Dugtrio as Kickaster tries to predict the... Wow, that was amazing. Because you can't predict against Volcarona. If that shit sets up, you just lose. What an incredible move. Goes for Fire Blast there. Fire Blast made no sense. He should have clicked Quiver Dance. As we see the Tyranitar double, which makes sense. Yes, I told you this Mew is a big threat. Okay, Celesteela comes in on Moonblast. This shit's Scarf. Okay. He went for Hidden Power Ice. Okay, interesting. Giga, Ice, Fire. Classic coverage. Low-key, Kickaster could have still won this game with the Volcarona. It still had a crazy good matchup. But he really let himself get outplayed. Or rather, he got no turns correct with Volcarona. And then this shit clicked Roar on the Volcarona. This thing really stuck around. Then the Tar lives. And kills with EQ. No, that was such an insane game. That was such an insane game. Volcarona is such a cringe piece of shit Pokemon. I hate that shit. Wow. And this guy had Dugtrio Volk. Like, what a bitch, you know? Did I ever bring Volk to anything meaningful? I don't think so. I never liked gambling like that. I've had Volk brought against me, but if I recall correctly... Dude, I don't remember... I really don't remember bringing Volk against anybody. But I definitely did, you know? I'm sure, like... I'd like to think I didn't, but I'm gonna look up right now. Gen 7. I mean, in Gen 9 I brought it a few times. Let me not lie. I'm gonna go right now and look up in Gen 7 and Gen 6. How many dishonorable wins do I have? Volk is such a lame Pokemon though. You really take no skill to win with that. Really egregious, mon. Can't respect that shit by any means. It's really just not fun, you know. It's really a pain to see something like that. Okay. Let me see. Let me see when I brought Volcarona. I'll give you guys the receipts, because I definitely brought it before. Let me not pretend that I'm only an honorable samurai. Because there have been days where I was a dishonorable samurai, you know? Oh, yeah, I have an Absol team. But versus CBB's Barbarical team. Let's see what happens. Superior turn 1 on Outrage. As I get up Reflect. I go Absol SD as he hits himself. Then I kill him with Knock. Oh, that brother got cooked. Oh. That brother got smashed. Shout out my Absol team. Nah, see, I have some evil teams, like using dual screens. Dude, get a fucking job. Like, you get no hose. Okay. I don't know if I have any cool Volk wins, bro. Well, there's no such thing as a cool Volk win, but I swear I used Volk more. Maybe not. Oh, I have a Volk clutch here. Look at ABR's team, though. You think my shit's bad? Look at the shit ABR used to bring. Like, what the fuck is this? Dude using some webs with Hoopa? I'm Life Orb Volk. This team is too Chad. As he gets rocks up. I taunt it there, but it's too late. Rocks are up, which is bad. I Reflect on Final Gambit. Then I Light Screen on Thundurus, which clicks Incinerate. ABR just be clicking bullshit. I go into Drill here and I Rock Tomb. Yeah. And then I Rock Tomb again. Oh, I Stealth Rock. No, I Rock Tomb here. Oh, Rapid Spin. Oh my god. Stop getting fucked. This is so awful to watch. He's getting absolutely shit stomped. Alright, does Volk win? Go Dragonite Fire Punch. Fire Punch again. Shit lives. Absol SD. Alright, Volk did nothing. Alright, you know what? I don't have any Shice Volk games. This is already so boring. Volk didn't even do anything. I thought this team was like... Huh. But I'm telling you, I don't bring Volk like that to games. I don't bring Volk like that to games. I had some Volk teams, though. Wait! I do have a Volk team that I like using. Hold up. You know what? Who gives a fuck? It's time for me to go do something better with my time. Fuck Volcarona. It doesn't deserve to get this much attention. I'll post that video soon. Everybody have a great day. Yeah, that video will go up very soon. Alright, peace.